Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to 2S's Nations Cup and welcome to the final round. We're at Suzuka today, and what a brilliant track it is. Suzuka, of course, started in 1962 by a Dutch architect named Johannes Hugenholtz, and it was originally built as a Honda test circuit before being opened up to international racing as we know it. My name is Jay or Panda, and I'm joined today by my lovely co-commentator, as always, Mr. Whiskey. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Suzuka is one of my favorite circuits of all time. It's just got so much flavor and so much character, and I'm so excited that it's going to be hosting the final round of the Nations Cup. Today, we will be doing a almost endurance style race. It's going to be a complete 120 minutes. That's 2 hours, and we're starting the race at 1945 CET after 15 minutes of qualifying. These 15 minutes of qualifying are going to be very, very important because we've seen sprint races. It's not actually split in half. It's just a full-on 120-minute race. They have one mandatory pit stop for fuel, and the pit stop has to be 25 seconds minimum, and there's a 65-minute maximum stint timer. So there is a pit window that they're going to have to be using in order to accomplish these pit stops. There's going to be a raffle right after the race for the driver coaching from Driver 61, and every race you finish is one raffle ticket, and then the raffle will be held right after we're all done with interviews and the race itself. Looking at Suzuka itself, it's a very it's got a little bit of everything, and it's very technical, especially the first sector. You have turn 1, which is a multi-stage turn. It's got I think 3 apexes. It's very, very crazy, and that takes you into the S curves, which are if you don't know them well enough, it's easy to either under oversteer if you put too much power or too little. That takes you to the Dunlop curve, which is a big height and elevation difference, and that takes you to the Degner curve, which you have to be kind of brave on. And then eventually that takes you to the hairpin, which is one of the slowest parts of the track, just second to the Casio triangle. And that takes you to a big old right-hander, which takes you to the spoon curve, which is another multi-apex turn. And that takes you on to the back straight. And the back straight finishes it up with a left turn that you can almost do flat out, but you kind of have to lift and brush the brakes slightly depending on what car you're in. And of course that takes you to Casio triangle, which takes you back to the start-finish line. And this is a very interesting track because it's not just, a circle. It's not, it folds over itself, and there's a bridge, and that's just, I think that's such a really cool characteristic of this track. What about you, Panda?
It definitely is, Whiskey. As you said, amazing track. Of course it hosts a whole lot of type of formulas and GT cars, and that is what makes for such exciting racing here. Of course, we have a lot of very talented drivers, and to end the season at Suzuka, it isn't an easy task. I'll say it like that. It isn't an easy task, but we'll see what they can do. But let's get caught up on the standing, shall we? So, currently, in your country standings, I assume, we have England at the top with 304.5, Germany then following with 297.5 points. In third place is the Japanese with 174.5 points. They'll be hoping to increase that point tally quite a bit for their home race. And then at the bottom, unfortunately, in P4, we have the Italian who currently have 129.5 points. 45 points off their leaders. Not ideal for them, Whiskey, is it? Would you be able to take us through that top 5 in the driver standings? I hear there's a few interesting situations in there.
Yeah, so top 5 for the drivers is P1 Orlando Rats. I think we all kind of saw that coming. 9 points behind is Chris Wikowski with 100. So sorry, Orlando Rats has 109 total points. Chris Wikowski has 100 points. So very, very close. And currently in third is Ruben van de Hutting with 75 points. So a little bit further behind. And then we have Felix Rupert with 69.5. and that's only 5.5 points behind Ruben. And then behind Felix is Dominic Illigner with 67.5, and that's only 2 points. So they're very, very close together, and most of them have done exceptionally well for all of the races. There's a few that kind of stick out, but yeah, this is going to be. I don't think it's going to stay this way. Here at Suzuka, it's bound to get shaken up. So I'm really excited to see what happens and how the standings finish. And yeah, definitely for the team positions, it's going to be a very, very tight battle between Germany and England.
It's gonna be I mean, listen, to be quite fair, each and every battle we've seen at Suzuka, whether it's championship or whether it's teams or whatnot, every single one of them is hard, right? It's never an easy battle, and I think we're going to see some very interesting results. But I do want to point out real quick, so Orlando Ratch leading your session currently with a beautiful time of a 2-minute, almost flat, 2:00.7. So really, really fast here. And then following him 2 times behind is Felix Rupert. Brilliant job for him as well. Of course, the track is ramping up, folks. So these times only get faster and faster. And then we have Ruben van Hudding in P3. He's followed close by Illinger. Illinger just, I think that's 2 thousandths away from Ruben. Now, I do want to ask, Whiskey. We were talking about Chris Witalski there momentarily. Of course, doing brilliant in his standings. He's finished consecutively. I think it was P21, P2, P1, and P4. So a really good scoring from him. What do you think is in his mind in this race? He's about a second behind his closest championship rival. Do you think he's just going to be hoping for a miracle, or could he have something up his sleeve, maybe race pace? What should we expect from him?
So if you had asked me that before race 1, I would have said that he would probably want to be a team player. But talking to the drivers the past few races, there's only so much they think of at a team perspective. They really do want to individually perform as well as possible. So he's only, I think it was 9 points. He's only 9 points behind Orlando Rats, and even though they are on the same team, I think he's going to want to try and snatch that first position from him. So I think he's gonna throw everything possible out there and try and take that. Yeah, I think he's gonna push really hard.
I do definitely think so. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And yeah, it's, how can I say this? To end Whiskey. I mean, to end a season like this off with 9 points for the lead and 7 points for the teams, or I call them teams, but for the countries. I mean, it's extremely fun, isn't it? Of course, it is just a four race season, but it's extremely fun to see something like this where it's so close, and anything can change. Those 7 or 9 points can change around so quickly, and we just have absolutely no way of predicting it. I mean, it's pretty fun, isn't it? Scary, but fun.
Yeah, I think it can only almost be seen as like a sprint season, just because it's only 4 tracks, only 4 rounds, and there's no time really for drivers to get this huge lead on other drivers, and so it's very much it was always going to be kind of a down to the wire type thing, just because these guys are all so skilled, and it's only 4 races, and so yeah, I think it's going to be exciting because people are going to be pushing pretty hard.
They definitely are, as we get on board now with the man leading his standings currently, Felix Rupert, a 10.5 up to Orlando. And Orlando is going to, of course, try and get as high as he can. But I think track evolution, Whiskey, it's a big thing, isn't it? I mean, we see these times getting faster and faster. We do see it in the race as well. How big part do you think track evolution is going to play in these last 5-ish minutes for these drivers to set their times?
I don't know. I think I would be surprised if the lap time that Felix has last put is the finishing lap time for pole position. Just because, you know, these guys are, I mean, every lap they do, that's another lap in their memory banks that they have for experience, and that's another lap that their tires can get a little hotter and their fuel can get a little lower. So I think, and as much rubber as they put down too, I think we're gonna see some. Oh,
What happened? You have to call these things out. I have absolutely no idea what happened.
Turn 1, Felix got. I can't tell if he actually lifted or not, but yeah, someone kind of went off the track, kicked up a lot of dust into turn 1, and it was right in front of Felix. So I'm curious as to if that affected him as he overtakes this guy.
I assume he'll
outlet.
I assume he'll probably take a few laps just to gather his things. But that guy behind it, you said, is Timo Braun in the Dell BMW. Amazing performance from Timo as well this season. I mean, he's had some highs, he's had some lows, but in general, currently P7 in the standings. Very consecutive finishes: P5, P6, P5, and P9. Really, you know, close to each other. I mean, Timo, someone like Timo, you know, you're not fighting for the win, but you know, you're still in the top 10. You're getting really good results. You know, Whiskey, do you think he'll be satisfied with a top 10 in this race?
I think so. I mean, he's usually pretty hard on himself, so I think if he's got the pace here and he doesn't perform at the pace that he thinks he's at, he's probably not going to be happy with his result. But I don't know what his pace is like here. But yeah, I think if he's comfortable with his car, which it seems like he is, I think he's gonna want to get, you know, top 5 by the end of these 2 hours. It's a 2-hour race, so a lot can happen within 2 hours. I think they're gonna be kind of careful the first lap or two, because, you know, if you wreck the beginning of the race for 2-hour race, you can be in a pretty bad position. But if you have the skill, you can bring it back. It's very give and take for long races, which is why I love them.
It definitely is. No, it definitely is. It's a skill driving these cars, and being this fast. It's something else altogether. But Felix Rupert going even faster now, 4/10 on Orlando Rats. Orlando not being able to speed up on that lap time at all. He's not having a good day today, Whiskey. You know, I mean, at this point, of course, you know, Chris, currently in P4, so he's a row behind him, but, you know, Rat's still 4 times faster. He can still deal with that, but Rats is definitely not a position he wants to be in, leading the championship, with your rival 2 or 3 rows, or 1 or 2 rows behind you. Definitely not something he wants to be in with. But as we talk about Orlando Rats, we're going to go on board with him for a lap. We're gonna have a look if we can take it. And do you want to take us through this lap, Mr.
Sure.
Whiskey? Okay.
So coming down the main straight, it's gonna go green, and then there's not gonna be too much room during the first few turns here. You can't really go too wide, so you know, once you get a position, that's probably gonna be your position during that turn. That turn, like I said before, is a multi-apex turn, and the downshifting is very particular. So usually downshift to second and then bring it back to third for the S's, which we're in right now. This corner here can be kind of tricky. You usually slow down a little bit more than you expect that you need to, but then, you know, you bring it back here and you kind of swing on into this very long left-hander. And there's a few of these just long turning, big long turns, like sustaining turns on Suzuka, as we go through those 2 turns, which are very, very, you know, ride the apex type turns. And this is downshift. I downshift to first here, so I can't really see what he's.
He does as well.
Yep. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. So this is another one of those kind of just long sweeping turns. Only this one's to the right, and so this is full throttle, and this takes you down. You get to about 5th gear. You want to downshift twice, usually, into 3rd gear. And you want to hit the inside apex, the outside, and then back to the inside. And this part here, you really have to make sure you're kind of just cruising through it slow, or you're going to end up in the sand or the barrier. This is I think the second longest straight in the on the track. And this left turn it's ballsy. You gotta throw it in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and does he?
So one downshift.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. And then you just gotta slam on those brakes, try and get a solid traction here, just a right and a left, and you're basically done. You just kind of get back on the throttle, and then there it is. Let's see how he did.
And he does
And
set a beautiful time. My Delta's saying 3 tenths. Is it correct? Yes, it is. Orlando Rats going P1 there, folks, in your qualifying session. 4.25 tenths away from this man, Felix Rupert. Seen a lot of performances from him, but I think, I don't know, man. We see a lot of good performances from him, and then he drops off. But someone who has done extremely well is the championship rival, Mr. Chris Witkowski. Now, he is a second and a bit slower than Rats, but remember, he didn't go out for another lap. He did not go out for another lap. So, that means that Chris could still be an extremely big factor in this race, Mr. Whiskey. As you see, Rupert now coming out of the final corners onto that straight. Can he improve? My Delta says 2 tenths. He lost a tenth there through that last chicane. Not ideal. What can he do? What can he do? Come on, Mr. Rupert. What type of time can he set? And he goes quicker, but he's still almost 2 tenths off of Mr. Orlando Rats. That was an absolute amazing session.
That was good. Yeah. And we see Chris, he's like you said, he's a second off, but it doesn't really matter because he would still be in the same position if he was 10th off. So it might say a little something about his pace, what his pace is like around here, but like we've seen in the past, qualifying, you can be really good at qualifying and then just kind of not for the race. Race pace is different. Yeah.
And I mean, other than that as well, we do have to have a look. I currently do have the timing sheet here on board of us. And I mean, as you said, right, race pace and qualifying pace, 2 different things. We've seen extremely good race pace from Chris Witkowski. He's really showed us what he can do. He's made some really good climbs. I think it was the previous race, was it? I'm decently sure it was where Chris got... I do have to check this. Yeah, it was at Imola, right? Where Chris got... where he had an accident and then had to climb his way. Yeah, okay, so it was. And he finished P4. So I do definitely think, of course, Orlando and Rupert going to try and cover off Chris and Illinger on that second row. But all I'm saying is, turn 1 Whiskey here is absolutely mad. We can see anything happen, and we shouldn't take anything for granted.
Yeah, and just before the start of the race, I can take us through just a little grid walk real quick. If we look at the standings currently for the race, we have Orlando Rats starting in pole position P1, followed by Felix Rupert, followed by Chris Witkowski, and then Dominic Illigner. P5 is Sam Chumley. P6, Ruben van der Hutting. P7, Nico Veldman in his highlighter AMG. P8 is Bailey Thompson. P9, Antoine Olive. And we've seen a lot of good stuff within this season as well. P10, Christian Stricker. P11 is Timo Brown. P12, Gareth Higgins. P13, Ollie Stricker. P14, Carol Chomesky. P15, Federico Vernignolo. P16, Kennedy Chikeka. P17, Marvin Betch. P18, Andrew Moulton. P19, Mikhail Ranoa. P20 is Tim Krushvar, and P21 is Jurien Visser. So that is our lineup for today.
That is the new lineup. As we are now going to get off our story. I think we do have a formation lap, do we? Yeah, we do.
Correct.
I'm decent sure. So I'm going to take us through the formation lap here. Let's talk a bit Whiskey before we start, right? We have a minute or so of the formation lap. Let's talk a bit about a track. Overtaking zones on this track. Where do you think we're going to see a lot of overtaking?
I think coming out, it's got to be places that are have good runs like the spoon curve. Right after the spoon curve, we have that long straight going to the Casio Triangle. I think obviously the start finish, and on turn 1, if you can almost, I don't want to say dive bomb, but
Yeah.
if you can if you can brake really late there, then I think we'll see people like doing last second brake checks and being able to overtake maybe on the outside, because you're going to end up on the outside anyways with the ideal race line. If you can go around the outside of a slower car, then I think we'll see a few of those there as well.
I'm gonna say we do.
So I think those are the big places, yeah.
We'd also have to have a look at the hairpin in 11. Sorry if you did mention that. I didn't hear.
Yeah, that's true.
But a hairpin in 11, of course, you know, hairpins, they're always a recipe for disaster and destruction. So, I mean, we'll see, you know, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We'll see. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, your final race of the 4-round season, I think, you know, for myself and Whiskey, it's been extremely fun commentating this. I don't think we would have had it any other way. And I think we've enjoyed ourselves, haven't we, Whiskey? We've had some good times.
Definitely. This was a good idea by 2S. It's very unique.
Look at it. I think Orlando Rats and Rupert might already been playing some mind games. I don't know if you saw that, but Rats deciding to brake very, very sharply, and Rupert flying past. Definitely not what he expected there. Yeah, no, folks, it's been an absolute amazing season. Brilliant idea from the 2S guys as we go through the hairpin here. It's a beautiful hairpin, this. Amazing idea from the 2S guys. Couldn't have made it any better. And now we're here for the last race. Orlando Rats then leading the pack. Rupert P2, Witalski P3, Iligner P4, and Sam is P5. Very quickly, Whiskey. Top three and race, go. Very quick.
Jeez. Honestly, I think maybe Orlando, Chris, Rupert.
Orlando, Chris,
I think it's going to get shaken up a little bit. If we see some carnage like we saw at Nürburgring, then I don't know, Chumley, Van de Hudding, and Ligner.
Do you think Chris has the chance of getting ahead of Orlando?
I think if something unexpected happens, he could have a chance.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I guess all we can really do is wait and see. That's all we can do here, ladies and gentlemen, as we drive through the. I think it's I'm going to call it the alternate starting line. We have seen it used one or two times throughout history, but it isn't as popular anymore. You know, now with F1 and GT3, we see the main straight. Well, what we know now as the main straight being used a lot more than that piece of road. Drivers, you will see them swerving here in a bit, just to get their tires nice and up to heat. Orlando and Rupert then side by side. They're all these drivers now lining up, getting on their green, as we call it, getting on the green. Rupert shouldn't get too feisty there. He's going a bit too far in front, but that's fine. Chris doing the same, just hanging back a bit. They'll probably do one or two small burnouts just before they enter, just to make sure they have it. But ladies and gentlemen, we head through the final corners right now, and this is it. Race 4 of the 2S Nations Cup at Suzuka. Get ready, because this is about to be very, 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 very actionful. They're on the grid, everyone's in their positions, everyone's lined up, and now we're waiting for that magical flag. When will we see it? When will we see it? When is it coming? It's going to come any second. Chris getting a jump. When's that flag coming? And I think... And there it is, green, green, green. Folks, here we go for round 4 of the Nations Cup. Rats getting an amazing start, while Chris not so much struggling. Rats and Rupert going head to head through turn 1. Amazing move there. I think that was by the BMW of Iligner, getting past Witalski, who has now fallen down quite a bit down the field, and now there's two BMWs of Iligner and Van Hudding close to the race leaders. We look a bit down. Sam then also falling down. Horrid start from him. He's fighting at the back of the field, not what he wanted. I do want to have a look at Chris in a second here. I think he's fallen down to P7. Yes, he has. Not ideal for him as well. He is now 6 positions off Orlando Rats, who is leading this race. I do apologize. My timing boards are glitching out a bit. Any action there off the line, Whiskey? Anything we didn't see?
I think that was a pretty clean cut start of the race. I didn't see any hustling around in the back. It seemed pretty good. I I think that's the first race of this series that we haven't seen some, at least slight carnage in the back. So that's good for a nice clean start of the race.
Definitely is. Yeah, carnage is not a good thing to see, and especially in these situations. But I do want to go back now. Chris Witalski, horrid start from himself. And who was that? I need to check real quick if it was Sam. Yes, it was Sam. Horrid start from them. They were starting quite far up, and now they've fallen down so far. What happened there on the start, if I may ask? Whiskey, what happened? Did you see anything specific, or was it just late reactions?
I'm going to check the replay, and I will get back to you about that because that's a good question.
That's a very good question. We'll get Whiskey to analyze. He'll analyze our replay for us here. But yeah, folks, no, that is the start of a 2-hour race. We're going to be your commentators for the next 2 hours, so have fun, enjoy. I see Christian Stricker now saying the fastest purple lap. No, don't worry, it goes to, who is that? P16. It goes to Tim, but I think that fastest lap is going to change hands quite a few times. It's definitely not decided just yet. Let's go to Ruben van Hudding, fighting out with Illig. Well, not really fighting with Illigner. Illigner's still in front, but Ruben's still trying to hang on in that slipstream and trying to see what he can do. Felix Rupert and Orlando Rest, they're already a second and a bit clear of the rest of the field, already running with this race. Chris Witalski would have wished he was with them if he didn't have such a poor start. Whiskey, any input?
So, yes, I have found out some interesting stuff happened at the race that we actually didn't catch. So it wasn't a full spin, but what happened was Chris tried to brake late, hit the rear of Sam Chumlee after he got on the dirt a bit, and Sam went off track. He didn't quite spin, but he took the grass for quite some time, so he was much slower than everyone else, which caused him to fall so far back. And Chris also had a little bit of maybe a half spin, but he was on track, so he was able to not suffer as much. But they made contact, and that is what brought them down.
Okay, yeah, well, I guess Chris then kind of causing his own bit of chaos, isn't he? Causing his own bit of unfortunate there. But hey, 2-hour race, as you said, it's still a long race. We can see anything, and that Aston is looking mighty fine. We'll go now. Who's going to set the fastest lap of the session? This is where it really matters. Who currently has the most pace on the field? And it's Rupert. Orlando gets it for a split second, but Rupert takes it back in that slipstream. Beautiful from them. They're running away from the field, aren't they, Whiskey? 2.5 seconds already on Illigner. They're absolutely running away.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the Japanese sunset falling down on the track and those shadows getting long, we see a massive gap between P1 and P2 and the rest of the grid, 2.4 seconds, and we're only on lap 2. So it's pretty impressive what these guys can do with just several minutes of racing.
Chris, the field just aren't as fast as they want to be. And I think someone who would agree with that is, sorry, I'm going to keep throwing back to this man, Chris Witalski, because he's so close to Christian. I mean, just, Christian's there, and he sees Chris. Chris, of course, switched from the Bentley to the Aston. Apparently, the Bentley was horrid to drive around this track. But, I mean, look at that. That's the thing about Suzuka, isn't it? That, without, in other sports like Formula 1, with the help of something like DRS, it is quite a bit, easier to overtake on Suzuka. On a straight, of course. But in GT3 cars, it isn't as easy, is it, Whiskey? They're a bit bulky and heavy, aren't they?
Definitely, and with all of the curviness of Suzuka, it's not very straightforward to overtake. You have the S's, you have those long, curving straights that aren't straights. So it does take some skill and a little bit of hair on your chest to try and throw down a move on someone in front of you.
No.
And yeah, even like at that final chicane, it's the Casio. they really gotta have a solid place to overtake.
Oh, definitely. We see now Ruben ahead of Illegner. Illegner not going to be very happy about that. And then Illegner right in front of Bailey Thompson. Bailey closing. He is setting faster lap times, 5/10 a lap. But is that enough? And behind Bailey, then we have Christian Stricker, of course, being hunted down by that Aston. Yeah, I mean, 2 hours. What would you say? You know, I always ask you this, Whiskey, and the answer always changes. So let's see what it is this time. Most important factor in this race. The singular most important factor in this race. What's it gonna be? Give it to me.
I would say, honestly, it's 70% consistency and probably 30% just keeping your nose out of trouble. Like staying away from damage, staying away from stuff like that. So mostly consistency, though, I would say.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, drivers, to see if you can be consistent, and someone who is consistent is Felix Rupert and Orlando Rats. 3.9 seconds now on the rest of the field. They are... they're quite literally the definition of pulling away, Whiskey. I mean, you know, if you... I'm decently sure, you know, if you go have a look in the dictionary, if you go search up pulling away, I think you're going to see these two, their names right next to each other, aren't you?
Definitely. And, you know, it's kind of... It's really cool to see that it's not just one person, it's those two. And you know, they're only half a second behind one another. So they're really kind of in their own little league. And the gap just keeps climbing. At a point, they're going to have a whole pit stop. And the pit stops do have to be a minimum of 25 seconds. So, you know, if they get 25-second gap, then, you know, they're not even going to have to fight anybody potentially to keep their position.
Definitely. I mean, currently someone who wants to fight for position is Felix Rupert, setting fastest lap after fastest lap, almost going 5/10. If I read that, yeah, 5/10 faster than Orlando Rats in front of him. But as I said, Suzuka not the easiest to overtake, and we'll see what happens there. I want to go down to P6 now, Christian Stricker. Really? That battle for P5. Ooh, Bailey, are you okay? Bailey losing a lot of pace there. Oh my word, that was almost a bit of an accident there throughout braking. But I mean, these three, you know, of course, we see Chris Towski wanting to get through there, but these three are so equally matched on pace, aren't they, Whiskey? They just... They want to get past each other, but there isn't much space for them to get past each other, unfortunately. Oh,
we see Bailey getting a little squirrely.
Bailey might be falling under pressure. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's got two cars behind him that are currently setting slightly faster laps than him. It looks like Bailey is kind of holding up the pack. You know, between him and Illegner, there has formed already. How much is that? 1.3? No, I think it's 3 point something second gap. I need to check that. But yeah, quite a gap already forming there. What else is going on down the field? Let's have a look. What's anything else happening? P14, you're in Vissner. No, he's pretty relaxed. Marvin? No, he's pretty relaxed as well. Federico, no, he's pretty relaxed. Ooh, Fisser actually going wide there, rejoining. Shouldn't have gotten the warning for that. Michael, no, he's fine. Tim Crusovar doesn't look like he started the race, unfortunately. And neither did Kennedy Chikeka. I don't know how to say that. Please excuse me. Yeah, I mean, the bottom of the field, there isn't much going on, is there? Unfortunately. Trying to have a look at... Oh, no, here it is. Sorry, there is something going on. P9, 10, 11, and 12. That took me a bit to find them. Antoine Olivet. Oh, Whiskey. I mean, Antoine Olivet, he just means trouble, doesn't he, in that Lambo? Move?
Yeah, as we see him go down the inside, possibly to try and make a move on Gareth Higgins.
Oh, and he does! He goes for the move! Ooh, that's too close! Man. That's so close, Antoine! What are you doing? But he'll have the outside for the next corner, so I don't think he'll be able to complete the moves. Yes, he does back off as expected. Oh my word, look at how close Timo is behind him. Antoine can't make any move. He has to simultaneously attack and defend. I don't know how that works, but he has to do it. And he has to do it urgently. But Timo also has to do the same thing because he has Sam right behind him. Samuel, of course, looking to climb back up the corner in that beautiful Golf McLaren. Come on, boys, fight for us. You want to see a fight? Come on, fight. We need to see a proper fight between these guys.
Yeah. But like we've talked about before, you know, if you're gonna try and make a move on someone, you really have to be brave. And Antoine that was quite the move he tried to make into turn 1, and he almost made it stick. But during the S's, you really can't go side by side, so he did have to back off. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see moves like that over and over throughout the next 2 hours.
Oh, I hope he do. I honestly do hope Antoine catches Higgins in front of him, because that would be a fight for the ages. That McLaren just not having a straight line speed that Lambo does, it would be absolutely amazing. And as we see, they're gonna get on the straight here. Get on the second longest straight, you said? I think it was. Yeah.
Yes,
but McLaren of Sam closing in on that BMW of Timo. Sam pulls out to the inside. He's going to go for the move. Is he looking? He's looking. He's poking his nose out. Oh, he doesn't. But Timo gives him overly enough space. Timo runs wide a bit, but that's not enough for Sam to do anything. Antoine has caught up a bit to that Higgins in front of him, but not enough, I think, to make a move in turn 1. Yeah, just not enough. That Lambo is fast on the straight line, but he isn't that fast. I don't think, at least. Is he? I don't think he is. No, he isn't.
Yeah, he's starting to run out of track there,
unfortunately. Anything going on here? Yes, there is. Nico Veltman, P8. Bailey Thompson. I don't know what happened with Bailey, but he's now down in P7. Could not withstand the pressure then, I guess, from Mr. Chris Witalski and Christian Stricker. Chris, once again, is setting faster lap times than his comrade Mr. Stricker, but it looks like Whiskey. Chris might just be using Stricker to his advantage. I mean, it does look like that's what he's currently doing. We have seen some overtalking taking opportunities, so I think he's just kind of sticking behind him and just using his slipstream to pull him along. Might make it easier on his tires.
Yeah, and if he can try and pull away from the people behind him as well, that could benefit him. If he does try to start attacking, that's going to slow them both down, and he doesn't want to be have any pressure from behind as well. So yeah, definitely. And we also see, behind Bailey, we have Nico Veldman as well. And, Nico, very skilled driver like we've seen. And I think he probably is getting held up by Bailey as well. He just needs to find a way to get around. But Bailey does have the right to keep that position. And if he can defend it, he still can keep it. There's no blue flags yet.
No blue flags yet. That is a crucial word there. Yeah, blue flag is going to play a massive role in this race, folks. But yeah, Nico, he's doing good. Bailey does look. Yeah, I mean, see, Nico just can't break where he wants to. He has to break a bit earlier for that Aston. And that's the thing is nothing against Bailey, of course. But if you're stuck behind a driver who just doesn't have the same pace as you, there's really much you can do around a track like this. You can't send it on the inside, and then you have to hope they give you space. But for drivers who might try and be driving a bit safer, that's a hard task to do, isn't it? Let's have a look at Sam, P12. Anything? Sam, he's sizing up Timo again. Looks like he is. Oh no, as he loses the back end of it and goes wide. Every time I switch to these guys, it seems like the action is just stopping, isn't it, Whiskey?
Oh, yeah. As he almost runs into the back of Timo.
That's fine. It's clean racing. It's hard racing.
It was just close. It was I think Timo probably braked when Sam wasn't expecting him to. But yeah, we do see even in the back of the grid, we're seeing a little bit of action. We see Karol Chomesky and Federico Vagnolo. They're getting really close. Right as I say that, Chomesky goes off into the sand. It looks like he caught a little bit of dirt, a little bit of grass into the braking zone and wasn't able to slow down in time. So there goes that. That is now...
That's the commentator's curse. That's the commentator's curse working its magic, isn't it? I mean, that's about how it is these days, unfortunately. we switch to someone and then they decide to run off the track. Great. Let's go to Urian Fisher. He's currently having a battle, well, trying to have a battle with Oliver Stricker. Of course, Oliver Stricker, brother of Christian Stricker. Whole family of racers. Well, yeah. I mean, Oliver not performing on the level his brother is, but I mean, he's trying his best. He's slowly but surely getting faster, and I'm sure he will get there. Fisher in that GTR, of course, GTR made in Japan, as far as I'm concerned. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But that GTR not performing very well around this Japanese track. Yeah, I do have to say, I do love the GTR. It's a nice car, but for racing, GTR professional, for GT3 racing, ooh, you might want to keep it at home, folks. If you're thinking of racing in a GTR, you can, but I would not suggest it. Just personally, of course.
It is nice to see some manufacturer diversity in the grid, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see the different manufacturers. I think we should have Corvette joining soon as well. Hopefully, if they can get their proper GT3 car built as well. I think Corvette would be amazing in this in ACC. But now we're looking at Antoine Olivet getting attacked by Timo. He was close there for a second to Higgins, but he loses all his times here in the corner. In the corners, sorry, not ideal for him. Whiskey, what do you think Antoine can do? We know how good. He's very good at making that Lambo very wide. Do you think he'll be able to pull away from that gap? From that group if he gets past Higgins, or do you think he's kind of just matching their pace currently?
I think if he's able to get past Gareth, Gareth is one of those drivers where he can be very good, high performance in some tracks and not as much in other tracks. So we're seeing he's doing a pretty good job at Sam going off a bit. Actually, wow. Yeah, no, he's still there. I think I got a bit of a server desync for a second there, but yeah, Gareth can definitely lay down some rubbers on some tracks.
Quick question, where is Gareth? Sorry.
Is that who I just lost?
Yeah, that's who you just lost. Antoine Olivet now in P9. So that question has been answered. Sorry, I was busy typing something out there for a second, and I look up at my screen and I just see Gareth is gone. He's as you formerly said, deceased. Yeah, but okay, well, that's really hard for Gareth. Of course, you don't want your race down like that. I assume it's connection issues, or he might have just desynced out of the race, but either way, not very ideal for him. Antoine Olivet under attack there from Timo. Can Timo make the move? No, he does not. He just doesn't. Antoine, he was faster on the previous laps, but, wait, it shows, no, Gareth Higgins is gone. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at my charts here. Timo does have
I know why he's gone. Wow.
Why? Do you know why?
He lost it. He lost it into the spoon curve. Got a little bit of snap oversteer, and he hit the wall pretty hard. So that is the end of Gareth Higgins' race. So I guess we don't have to ask that question anymore, I guess. We'll see if Antoine is...
The question we do have to ask is, what happened with Chris Witowski? He was behind Christian Stricker, and now he's making a move. Oh, sorry, dives down the inside there of the Mercedes of Nico Veltman. Is he going to get past the draw alongside? No, he doesn't. I think there might have been some contact. It looks like he did let him pass there. What happened with Chris? A lot of strange moves happening here that we did not expect. Chris now down into P8. Not ideal for his championship hopes. He needs to hope that Orlando has a big problem. Otherwise, Orlando has secured that championship.
Yeah, at this point, yep.
What else?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I am listening.
At this point, as long as Orlando has a clean race, he will be ending this series at the top. But technically, it is a fight for the countries, so.
It is a fight for countries, but
winning.
Yeah, they both want to be winning. As we see the GTR here of Fischer, he's getting very close to Stricker through those corners. That GTR has picked up a lot of pace. Does this race go into the night, Mr. Whiskey? Do we know that?
That's a good question. I don't know that, but seeing that it's sunset and it's getting very hazy looking, I would say that they do probably have some sort of time, maybe a little bit of time acceleration. It would be really interesting to see this finish under a night sky. But yeah, it would be cool. It'd be a nice shakeup.
It's, I mean, Suzuka, of course, not popular for having a lot of spotlights. We can see one or two here or there, but not really as many as we would see on other tracks, that we would race on at night. So that's going to be interesting to see what exactly the drivers can make in the dark. Yeah, that's, wow, definitely something I did not expect. Chris Witkowski still behind the the AMG of Nico Veltman. Nico being able to keep him behind. Yeah, Chris, not his race, but hey, I said 2-hour race, still an hour and 38 minutes left. Anything can happen. Has Rupert done anything? Has Rupert decided to do anything yet? No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's still patient. Oh, he might actually try here into turn 1. I mean, he was very close to out of the exit. If he gets a good exit, can we see Rupert's in the slipstream? Rupert, is he gonna pull alongside, do you think? Whiskey? Does he? I don't think he does. Oh, he looked for it. He did snap a sneak peek, but he didn't actually commit to anything. I mean, which is probably smart, Whiskey.
Especially at the start of the S curves, it's very hard to fight. Very hard to fight there. Just because it's left and right and left and right. And yeah. And there is, I actually did just check the replay to see what the lighting was like at the beginning, and there is time on. So it's, I do think we will see some nighttime. I don't know what the acceleration's like, but yeah.
Yeah, there's acceleration. Orlando Rats and Rupert now pulling a 10-second gap on the rest of the field. That is crazy. I mean, that's half
that is
pit
incredible,
stop.
yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it, Whiskey? For these drivers to pull that much of a gap, how much skill do these guys have? Like,
and that they're so close together as well is just, it's very impressive that neither of them have really made any silly mistakes under the pressure. With the, Felix has the pressure of trying to catch this guy, and if Orlando does something like brake a little bit too early or something, then that could be bad news for Felix. And then Orlando has the pressure of having this guy breathing down his neck the entire time. And so it's very impressive that these guys aren't cracking, but I'm just gonna knock on wood because I really don't want commentator's curse to determine the result of this race.
Well, I hope so not. I mean, listen, what I'm saying is, if Orlando, maybe he got a bit off track and, magically came in.
Sorry, Chris Witkowski making a move on Nico Veldman. Nico had a little bit of oversteer that he had to fix. Left the window open for Chris Witkowski. They're now side by side into the back straight.
Chris should have the inside here.
It looks like Nico does have a slightly stronger engine, and he does back out.
Damn, Chris looking so strong there. Looks like he's a bit better through the corners. That could have been so exciting. Come on, Chris. We want you to make a move. Come on. We're waiting, Chris. We're waiting. Give us a move. Give us a move. Give us a move. No, seriously, as I said, amazing drivers from amazing drivers. I would not be able to do this in the slightest. Whether that is because I'm bad at the game, it might be, but we just won't discuss that right now. Is Fisser going for the move? I don't want to see this. No, Fisser. Okay, Fisser's still quite a bit behind Stricker. But he's getting there. He's slowly but surely getting there. Fisser, they're fighting for P12 and P13. Oliver going very slow there. Fisser had avoiding action. Fighting for P12 and P13, not the highest points, but I think it is still points. So they'll be glad if they can get those. Chris Witkowski, he's looking. I saw the delta. He's looking. He's on the tail of that. But look at the acceleration on that Mercedes. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It's interesting because as far as I'm aware, the Mercedes, it's very strong in the straights, but it suffers in the corners, and so that's where you have to. We see Chris trying to take him like on the wow. It's Nico going very slow there, but trying to take him on the corners. There's just no point in trying to outrun him on the straights, just because that Mercedes engine is so powerful. But it's a heavy beast, and so those corners is not as nimble.
Definitely is the Aston Martin a lot. It might not be. It isn't light either. The Aston Martin is quite heavy, but as said, it is very nimble. And slipstream is a thing around Suzuka. You know, we can see that Aston getting closer slowly but surely in that slipstream. But let's see what he can do through here. This is, of course, an extremely important section. It sets you up for his last corners. Chris lets Nico know he's there. He gets it. I mean, look at that. He gets an amazing exit. He is on Nico, and then that Mercedes engine kicks in, and he's just gone.
Just pulled away.
Just.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And, you know, this fighting is going to help Sam come up from the back, and Sam's going to be thrown into the mix as well. And so I think the most ideal place for Chris to try and get an overtake done is probably in either the S curves or turn 1, because he has all that time to pull away, all of those curves and corners to pull away from Nico, so Nico doesn't immediately bounce right back at him.
See, those might be logical spots, but I mean,
yeah.
Tell me it wouldn't be nice to see a hairpin dive bomb. I mean,
that
would
true,
be extremely nice, to be quite fair.
Yeah, and we see Urian and Ollie still very close together as well. I don't think any moves are about to be made, but yeah, there's a lot of paired fights going on right now. Just like, you know, Orlando and Rupert, Chris and Nico, and Urian and Chumesky.
I mean, hey, that's what we like, isn't it? We might even see Moulton here, Andrew. He's getting close to his Lamborghini, his fellow Lamborghini, their modern Betcher in front of him. Those two Lambos, just racing for the fun of it. Why not? Racing is fun. Everyone likes it. Rupert, is he closing the gap? It does look like he is closing the gap on that Aston, but not closing it enough for the straight. And the Aston actually pulls away from the Lexus. Yeah, but as I said, a lot of like pair driver fights, nothing really big. I think I might put it on onto where is it? Chris Witowski. Oh my word! Wait, Sam overtook Chris. Can we get a replay? Wait, let's see if we can get a replay. Oh no, Chris goes wide. Chris goes extremely wide, and oh, he just can't. He doesn't find a space, and Sam just getting through. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible for Chris. He was working so well, and then he went wide of one corner, and he just can't do anything. Oh, that's not ideal for Chris. P9 now. He's contending for the championship, and he's P9. Not ideal for him, but hey, there is still quite a bit left in Suzuka. Exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes. So see what happens off there. But Sam now looking for a move on Nico Feldman. Can he get it? He's closing. He is very close. The thing about the McLaren, of course, Whiskey. I mean, that McLaren is good on all fronts, isn't it? It's good like everywhere.
Yeah. I know. I was gonna say. I think he's got just.
He's going for the move. Sorry.
Engine-wise.
He's going for the move. Sam is nosing.
Yes, he is.
Oh, but it's a right-hander, so Sam can't keep that nose in, or even if he does, it won't help him much. Ooh, but they're closing up on Bailey. Bailey's gonna hold them up. Bailey's especially gonna make it very hard for Sam. Oh my word! Ooh, Bailey going very slowly there. Massive chaos, and that is Nico wide. Oh no! And it's back. It's Nico versus Chris again. Oh, that was. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there with Bailey. Actually, sorry, Nico now catching up to Sam again, looking for a move, but he doesn't get the move. Sam, of course, has a bit more pace, so see what happens there. But look at, I mean, Chris, that's, I wouldn't say it's Chris on stream, but I mean, Nico's right in front of him again. You know, he can at least battle with Nico. He can at least try something, you know. But Sam, of course, amazing pace from Sam, isn't that? I mean, you know, apparently Chris and Sam were supposed to be equal on pace, but they obviously aren't, are they?
Yeah, and you know, Sam was just able to keep his nose clean, and Nico going into that hairpin very hot, and he just missed it completely.
Sorry, is that Nico making a move on Bailey? Yes, it is. Sorry, Nico making a move on Bailey there through the last corner. That leaves Chris Witowski now all the way down in P9, but he will be chasing Bailey down quite quickly, I presume. Sorry, Whiskey, continue what you were saying. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of almost the dive bomb by Nico into the hairpin. It wasn't ever gonna work out, and I think that might have accidentally been accidental, maybe too late on the brakes. But that just, everybody just kind of was able to capitalize on that, but Chris, and now Sam is P6, starting from behind all those guys.
And
so Sam,
Chris did get past Bailey there. You want to have a replay of this,
okay.
just so we can watch that again. That goes into turn 1, so Chris going through turn 1. Bailey looking for a move on Nico. Bailey getting way too close. Bailey running wide, and Chris slides into that slot. Bailey not having the pace of them, and now it's a battle. And it's a battle up again, I guess. Samuel, of course, already pulling a gap, but Chris is going to look what he can do. Come on, Ren's replay gonna end. I want to see this. Oh, and there's the replay ended. Okay, so Chris now extremely close to Nico Veltman, like extremely close. On his tail. This, of course, isn't the best section of track for him to overtake on. There is a slight straight here, not very straight, but there is, of course, a I think that's a left-hander. Yeah, left-hander coming up, which leads to a big back straight. And then Chris going to lose all his time. Oh no! Nico very unstable on the throttle, and Chris going for the move. Oh my word! But of course that AMG engine extremely. Chris is going to try and cover him off, and now it's a drag race, folks. It is drag race. Chris is going to have the inside for that next corner, but it's a drag race. That AMG engine extremely fast. It looks like Chris does have it. Does he? He commits. He sends. Oh, Nico! But they both run wide. That's a bit of a Brazil, and Nico gets the position back. Chris not able to fight back. The stewards. Oh, Nico goes wide. Oh, Nico's off. Oh wait, I'm not quite sure what Nico's going to...
And yeah, that definitely suffered Nico's entry onto the straight, which is causing Chris to still have a chance going into turn 1. And
going to do it. Yes, he does. Okay.
Oh, easy. And now this is gonna be great for Chris, because Nico's gonna not have the performance during the S curves and during these next movements onto the track. So Chris is gonna be able to...
Oh, look at Antoine Olivet! Sorry. Look at Antoine Olivet. Timo and Antoine Olivet now pulling along side to side. Timo, looking for it. Is there contact? Yes, there is. Yes, there is contact. Antoine's still keeping his nose in. Antoine is mad. He is mad. He is absolutely crazy. But Timo does get the move done. All the battles are happening. I mean, that was a span of like 2 laps. All the battles happened. What was that? Oh my word.
Incredible driving by Timo and Antoine there too. That was just... wow, yeah. Side by side during that part of the track is so hard to do.
They got it right. A slight contact, but they did get it right. But more important, Chris Witkowski now into clean air, folks. He's been wanting to get past that AMG for absolutely forever, and his Christmas wish came true. He is past, he is free, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, we see Nico. He's already pulling away from Nico.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
But I do apologize. Risky, go ahead. You can.
It's just, yeah, we'll see how much Nico can close up on this gap for the straight. But I mean, he's solidly in front right now, and whatever Nico can gain on the straights is going to be lost in the corners with just the nimbleness of Chris's Aston.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you say that, but I mean, just look. It's easier for people to hear that and say, oh, the Aston isn't that good in the corners. And then you look at that, and the Aston kind of does it effortlessly, doesn't he? Nico really having to toss his Mercedes in, well, as the Aston kind of just, cruising through. He's doesn't have a worry in the world, just kind of having a good time, saying hi. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying life. I mean, oh crap, that is going to be a slight...
Orlando Rats and Felix Rupert switch places. And now Orlando's a second behind Felix, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
How'd that happen? Oh wait, the replay doesn't
probably
even
during
show
all that
us.
fighting.
The replay doesn't... Okay, well, we're on a replay right now, and we're just having a look at Rupert's car, because we can't do anything else currently. Yeah, okay, that's weird. I think Orlando might have had a problem, because, for him to be that far behind, that must signify that he, either touched the grass or something, because
it was the beginning of lap 17.
Okay, that makes sense. We're gonna have a look here,
And I
folks.
think Felix got a great move onto him in turn 1 and was able to just make it stick.
It is worth saying, folks, Felix is second faster on Orlando last lap. I'm not even making. I wish I'm making that up. Yeah, that's what my time board is saying. A second difference between the two. So
That was good job, great consistency by Felix, and Felix is 1.2 seconds. So I think maybe Felix has the better pace than Orlando, possibly. Maybe Orlando has been holding him up. We'll see over the next couple laps if that is true. But yeah, I mean, that was a great move from Felix, just keeping consistent, keeping his nose where it needs to be in order to make a move whenever possible. And he made the move when it was possible. He was close enough. He dived down the inside, and he was able to make it stick. And he left room for Orlando, but Orlando did go a little wide, which caused him to suffer a little bit and not be able to immediately fight to take it back.
I do want to have something. Bailey Thompson behind Antoine Olivet and Timo Braun. Timo Braun now clear Antoine Olivet. Antoine, really good racer, as you said, Whiskey. You know, he knows how to defend. But more importantly, Mr. Chris Witkowski, 3-second gap on Nico. Nico not going to be very happy about that. But Mr. Sam, he is second, 1.8 seconds there off Christian Stricker in P5, and it does look like he's catching him by about 7/10 a lap. Do you want to redraw that top 3 for us today? Mr. Risky, do you want to redraw a picture of that top 3 now we're almost 40 minutes in?
Honestly, we still got an hour and a half to go. Anything can happen, but Felix, I still think we need to wait a little bit to see if Felix really does have a better pace than Orlando. But right now, it is looking like Felix is on the upper hand. And once we get the pit stop over with as well, we'll see how things are. Because we have seen risky strategies with pit stops, and we've seen them work out and we've seen them not work out. So I think it's still... I mean, Orlando's not getting lost in the dust. He's still there, and he's, not getting further away. So I do think that, it is possible that we can see another switch or two.
Oh no, I definitely think we will. As we've seen a lot of times where, we've said it a lot of times, the results, folks, halfway into these races is never the end result. It never is. And it never will be, I guess. It never will be. Chris Witkowski, unfortunately slower than Sam in front of him. But the good news for Chris is he's faster than Chris the Stricker, which is quite a bit up the road. So Chris still has hope to hang on to a P6. I mean, maybe even theoretically, if he picks up his pace, he could theoretically still contend for P3 to 4. So we'll see what Chris does. So hour and 20 minutes, 40 minutes passed, and he's gained a few positions, not as many as he would like. Got stuck. Oh my word! Sorry, Nico. Nico dropping back behind Timo Braun there. We should be able to get a replay of that, folks. Okay, so Timo goes wide there, into the last few corners here. What happens? Nico just gets a bad exit. Timo, no. Okay, everything seems fine. Drag race onto the straight. What happens here, gentlemen? Oh my word, Timo's... Oh wait, did Nico lift off or something? Oh, that's not ideal. Nico, Nico for some reason just falling behind Timo. I don't know if that was strategical of the Germans. It might have been. I mean, I think it maybe was. Could it have been strategical of the Germans? Whiskey? Could it have been to switch the places of Nico and Timo?
I'm not sure if they're on a voice chat, but we've seen Timo give a position, and possibly if they think that Timo's got a better pace, then it is possible, yeah.
Well, it does look like Timo has better pace. Setting a lot faster laps than Nico. Nico is struggling. Nico is absolutely struggling. Not a good day for him. Orlando Rats 1.4 seconds behind Felix Rupert. Also not ideal for him. Ruben van Hooding, quiet race for him. Unfortunately going slower than he would have liked. But Mr. Chris Witkowski, sorry, I don't know if you have your data up here. Chris Witkowski, doing his personal best there last lap. Down on that this lap, but extremely good lap from previous lap. So we'll see if he can catch the guys up ahead. Samuel gets past. Sorry, probably gonna. Oh no, wait. Not gonna have a replay just yet. Christian Stricker is going to come back. Yes, he does. He's gonna try and come back. Does he have the line? No, he doesn't. And Sam gets the squeeze. Gonna rewind that by 30 seconds here, folks. So looks like Christian just gets a horrible exit there out of the third to last corner, and Samuel just cruises past, and has a nice has a nice open field now, doesn't he, Whiskey? I mean, it's been an amazing day for Samuel. You know, he might have started it a bit, you know. At the start might have been a bit dodgy, but you know, he's had an absolute amazing time since then.
Yeah, I feel like getting rear-ended is a little more than dodgy, but no, just after that, I'm sure, you know, it was frustrating for him, and getting back up to P5 is quite the achievement, and you know, he still has over an hour to go to climb even more, so it's a great job from Sam. And you know, something that I do need to mention as well is this race is not just a race of skill and consistency, it's also competition, as we see only 17 drivers, which is still a good amount, but 17 drivers left. We've seen, I think, four or five getting DNFs from, you know, crashing and stuff like that. We did see a few not start, but I think we ultimately started with about 21 drivers after qualifying, and we are down to 17. So this will be a race of attrition. I do think we'll see a few more drivers DNFing as well, just because of how it goes. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind as well.
Definitely is. You know, these drivers, no matter how good they are, one slip can cause a fall, and a fall is not something you want at this track. A hypothetical fall, of course. But now, the gap between Chris Witkowski and Christian Stricker closing down, 3 seconds between them. Chris Witkowski taking almost a second and a half out of Christian Stricker each and every single lap. So Christian is not going to feel too good about that, with Chris coming up behind him. Let's have a look at who can we have a look. I'm thinking Olivier. I'm thinking Mr. Olivier. Currently, Nico has definitely not on the pace. Antoine catching up to Nico, actually somehow keeping the pace on Nico. Brilliant drive from Antoine today. Freeway battle here for P9 between Nico, Olivier, and Bailey. Bailey, of course, we saw him drop off, but it looks like Whiskey, like Bailey's found, you know, where he's supposed to be. It looks like, you know, he's kind of found his group, if that makes sense.
I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy to know that, but yeah, I think you're right. You know, the pace is just I don't know.
Yeah,
don't really know what else to say on that matter, but yeah.
Unfortunately, it isn't there. As you see, Antoine getting very close. He puts his nose up the inside, but nothing going to work from him yet. But that Lamborghini, extremely good rotation, and he does have almost equal straight line speed to that Mercedes. So Nico definitely not feeling very comfortable in his seat. Might have skid marks, but we'll ask him after the race. We'll ask him. Ooh. Almost contact there between the two. Yeah, we'll ask him. We'll question him after the race on that matter to see if it did indeed happen. 4 attempts now between the two. Can Antoine's Lamborghini close that gap? I don't think. Yeah, he is. He did actually. Sorry, he caught a tenth and a bit on that straight there. Beautiful from him. Oh, he looks. He tempts Nico. Tells Nico, "Hey, Nico, I'm here," and but doesn't do anything with it just yet. Anything else interesting we can have a look at, Mr. Whiskey?
Yeah, so a few laps ago I mentioned how, you know, we have to give it a few laps to see what the gap is going to be like between Felix and Orlando, and I do think this is a good time to assess, because the gap between Felix and Orlando is 2.3 seconds, and that is very, very telling, because that's saying, you know, Orlando is not on the same pace as Felix. Felix is slowly but surely pulling away, and it's kind of starting to seal a little bit of the fate between we see of the top drivers. Again, we have more than half of the race to go, but this kind of does show that Felix was being held up a little bit the first 30 minutes of the race, and now that he's let loose, he's pulling away, and at this point he's almost 3 seconds ahead of Orlando.
Orlando going to be asking himself where that pace is. Doing extremely good in qualifying, and then his race pace just isn't to match Felix Rupert's. But Orlando is still 2 seconds ahead of the guy behind him, Rupert Van Hooding. So I mean, he can't really complain. He still has extremely good pace. Talking about the man himself, Ruben Van Hooding, he is slowly being caught by Dominic Illigner behind him, but that is very slowly. I think it's something like 3 times a lap, so nothing that Ruben has to worry about just yet, as there's 4.8 second gap between the two. I saw something. Fisser, did Fisser just get past Oliver Stricker? Oh no, wait. Okay, well, something happened at the bottom of my screen. I'm not quite sure what. Something happened. Something might have just shuffled, folks. I do apologize if I saw that wrong. But yeah, okay.
Visser is ahead of Ollie, yeah.
Yeah, Visser, but did he overtake him there, or was that like that for quite a while? Oh! Look at Visser! Look at Visser! No! Oh no, that cheated. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, we're gonna get a replay of that. So Visser, beautiful here in the last section, just keeping it clean, keeping it healthy, and then here through the final corners. So he goes wide here. Gets on the track, he still feels confident, gets his braking right, goes into the second to last corner, penultimate corner, goes into the last corner, and then puts in a power too aggressively. The GTR end starts to shake, he tries to save it, and he just can't. And that gives the position back to Oliver Stricker. Another battle, I think, that will go on for the ages, won't it, Whiskey?
Yeah, that was, at least he was able to save it, though. That was definitely something that some people would have been into the barrier wall for. As we see Felix going fastest, actually that might not be new news.
Yeah,
but
he's been fastest all session, hasn't he? So it might be, it might not be. We wouldn't know. Let's have a look at Christian Stricker and Chris Witkowski. Of course, the Japanese versus the English here. What's gonna happen? It looks like Chris does have a lot of pace in that Aston, but as I said, he has the pace on the corners, although that slipstream looks like it's catapulting him towards that Lexus at a speed of no other, but he's just not fast enough, commits to there, gains a bit of time there on the Lexus, but not enough to make... Oh, is it enough? Yes, he does! Oh, he brakes late, folks, and into the final 2 corners! Oh my word!
What a ballsy move.
I want to see that again. Oh my, I'm sorry, Whiskey, that you can't watch this. So, through here, slowly catching, folks. Whiskey, I'm so sorry you can't see this, man.
I'll
genuinely sorry. So, he goes through that corner, and it looks like Chris is too far back, and he says, no, I'm not, I'm later on the brakes, and he brakes late, puts that Aston way in front of Christian, and gets that move done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's like it was nothing for him, and that sets Chris now into the free air to chase Mr. Sam, who's now 6 seconds up the road, which is not ideal. Chris already leaving Christian in a bit of a rush. I would assume he's in a bit of a rush.
We see the first person. Oh, Jurien Visser. He's out of the race now. Went into the pits and DNF.
Oh, poor Jurien. He was having such a good race. It's always bad to see. It's always bad.
I wonder if he damaged himself during that little struggle, the oversteer struggle.
Could have been. We have seen direct drive wheels quite literally cut off people's hands. So I mean, it is possible. We won't take anything out of the window just yet. We'll have to send him a message and ask him, hey, what happened? But yeah, what did you think of that move, Whiskey? I mean, Chris really showing some balls.
Yeah, that was just, knowing your car, knowing the brakes, because you know, like I said, this is one of my favorite tracks. I love Suzuka. That corner, that you know, final chicane, depending on which one your track is set up for, it's the braking zone is so fuzzy, if that makes sense. So you really have to be confident on the brakes in order to make a move so extreme as to that one. I mean, it looked like he had no chance, but the braking zone is so big. Like, you brake for such a long time because you're braking all the way down to first gear from fifth or sixth, and it just gives you so much opportunity to brake late. And yeah, just great job. And just something to mention, Orlando Rats now over 4 seconds behind Felix Rupert. Felix just putting in killer laps and pulling away from Orlando.
Definitely not what Orlando wants. Not today, at least. Any news? I want to go down to Bailey Thompson. I was talking to Bailey before this race. He said the car, it felt alright, but I don't think Bailey was where he wants to be. We were actually joking that Bailey would get punted off by Olivier at the start of the race, and you know, I mean, it might not be the start of the race, but they are very close to each other.
There's still time.
There is still. Listen, Olivier. All I'm saying is, man, is there's still an hour and 7 minutes in the race. You still have overly enough time to break a bit early. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, we would not condone such a thing at 2S. Olivier, go. But yeah, it feels really spread out now, Whiskey. This is kind of the time, isn't it, where we kind of get, a bit quiet in the commentary box, where we cool down.
Yeah.
Get our shades on. Well, I mean, we can't because it's becoming night, so we're gonna have to take off the shades and we're gonna have to put on the lights and maybe play a FIFA game, something like that, to keep us busy in the next hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's, for these big races, there's a point where the gaps are just they're pretty big, like a few seconds mostly, and then you start to kind of get into a rhythm.
Once you get into that rhythm, it is, I don't want to say set in stone, but it definitely helps the drivers to find out, kind of where they are. But Chris Witalski now in clean air, going 2 tenths faster on that previous lap. Dan Samuel, he is slowly but surely reeling in Samuel. He does have enough time to do it. Come on, Chris, show us what you've got. I mean, Chris could still be competing for that P3 if he pulls up his socks. Of course, Ruben just not on the pace at all. I mean, he's on the pace, but he is still 5 tenths behind someone like Chris. Which 5 tenths a lap, he is catching him quite a bit, but it is quite a marginal gap. I mean, if I did a maths, that's 10 seconds. That's almost 15 seconds that Chris has to catch to P3, and he's gonna have a lot of people that want to take that P3 from him. I'll tell you that, Mr. Whiskey.
Definitely, yeah. It's I feel like unless something crazy happens, P1 and 2 are going to be a combination of the two. P3 is the big thing that people are kind of eyeing at and saying, okay, I can go for that. And I think we're going to see probably if people like Dominic Eligner, Sam Chumley can close those gaps, I think we're going to see it handed off a few times before the end of this race. As we are 5 minutes to the halfway point, we've been racing here for 55 minutes, and we have 65 to go, but I feel like the fun has just started.
I hope so. I mean, it's becoming night,
Yeah.
So, a few spins we could possibly see. If Rupert and Rats decide to make it interesting, we could see that.
Well, it depends. It depends on if we can see it or not.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we should probably see it before
dark.
them, shouldn't we? But I did just see 1 or 2 of Suzuka's lights start to go on there. Only 1 or 2. The rest of them will probably come on in the future. See Rupert getting past the first bit of traffic there. I think that was Michal? No, it wasn't actually. It's Marvin. No, it wasn't Marvin Ivers. Andrew Moulton. Yeah, it was Andrew Moulton. So both him and Orlando are getting past Andrew already. Already lapping people. I cannot believe that. So I do want to ask real quick, Mr. Whiskey. Do we have a specific pit window, or is it constantly open? Can the drivers pit any time?
So technically, yes. We're gonna see a kind of unofficial pit window just because they have a maximum stint time of 65 minutes. So once you get to 65 minutes, you need to pit. You can't do a stint for 3/4 of the race and then pit. You have to pit at least within a 65-minute window every time, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense to me. Let's just hope it makes sense to the viewers, I guess. No, but of course...
And the drivers.
And the drivers, yeah. I think the drivers might be in Formula 1. But I think the thing is important here is... Because... you could, there's so many pit strategies. Even if it is just one stop, there's so many pit strategies that you could do, isn't there, Whiskey? You could go for a certain amount of fuel, you can go for tires, whatever. There's so much you can go for that, folks... as Whiskey said, the race isn't over just yet. Please, hang on. This part of the race, it does usually get a bit, it's a bit of like a cortina, isn't it? Where it kind of spreads out across the whole field. But it'll bunch up again, I do promise. And once it bunches up, I think that is going to be an absolute amazing sight.
Yeah, the pit stops are going to shake things up a bit, definitely. I'm surprised no one has pit yet. I was expecting to see at about the 1:15 mark people to start pitting for 2 stops, but it looks like people don't think a 2-stop is worth it unless they're going to do their first pit stop halfway through and then another one, closer to the end.
Well, 2-stop might not work. I mean, the track is getting colder.
As we see Bailey Thompson going to the pits, sorry. Yeah, Bailey Thompson is into the pits.
Okay, well, Bailey calling our bluff there and saying, hey, I'm pitting. What are you guys talking about? But of course, 2 stops, it is becoming night. The drivers might think that, during nighttime, if they are going to go slower, which we do usually see a drop in pace because drivers are more cautious of the night. They might say, that last set of tires will last me long enough, and I won't be able to, push enough to, to kind of, to justify doing a 2 pit stop and getting, either new fuel or tires or whatnot.
Yeah, and nighttime is very interesting just because there are a few factors that you have to play into. If you get damage and your lights break, like that can be completely detrimental because you're either gonna have to limp back to pits, which is probably what they would do if their damage wasn't as bad, and so that, you're dealing with people behind you, you're dealing with not being able to see in front of you, and then you have to get fixed. So there's just a whole lot of different stuff that you have to take into account for nighttime stuff. As we see, they have the whole grid has 5 minutes to pit.
Folks,
because they do have to, they have to
as we see a lot of the grid actually pulling up now. Ruben van Hudding, one of them, along with Michal, pulling in to the pits and saying, hey, I'll pit, okay, it's time, let's get this pit stop over with. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see what the pace is here. Whiskey, it could either be very good pace or very bad pace, I guess. Sounds a bit stupid, but go either way and we'll see what happens. But I imagine people like Chris Witowski and Sam. What?
Bailey Thompson just going off a little bit. I guess he's getting used to his new tires.
Oh, Bailey. Antoine Olivet also pitting. Nico Veltman also pulling into the pit, saying, "Hi, I'm pitting." Okay, a lot of pitters here, but I assume the rest of them will pit next, probably this lap, won't they?
It's Felix can kind of play a game with Orlando with this mandatory stint time because he can pit right before it and force Orlando to either follow him into the pits or force him to only have 1 lap between the 2 of them for pitting. So I think Felix is pretty safe right now when it comes to being covered for pit stops.
The mind games, folks. The mind games. Sorry, can you still hear me? You should still be able to hear me. I am just changing a few of my mic settings, so hopefully you can still hear my beautiful voice. I get nice up and close to the mic. Okay, no ASMR for today, but we're currently having an eye on Illinger here. I keep calling it Illinger because I'm used to playing a lot of Minecraft, and there's a Illinger in there, and it just looked the same, but it isn't. It's a Ligner. G is before the N. Is he going to pit? Is he going to pit? Is Mr. Ligner going to pit? No, he doesn't. He's going to try do one more lap, or 2 more? I don't think he'll be able to do 2 more, will he?
I think they have to. I think their stint time stops as soon as they enter the pits. So I think these guys are probably going to stretch it out probably 1 more lap.
Pretty thinly, yeah.
It would be kind of dangerous to do another one. I mean, you know, we've seen people get very close to getting disqualified, as we saw at Imola. So yeah,
very close.
I wouldn't put it at them.
I think it was Antoine who did the free stop in Imola.
Antoine and oh, who was the other one?
I'm not quite sure, but they did all 3 stops in like the last 10 or 8 minutes. Like
yeah.
That still surprises me. Like, I know Antoine explained it to us, and you know he said he did the math, but like I tried to do the math myself, and it didn't work out. But you know what? It worked out for Antoine. Antoine, I won't take him. I don't have anything against him. We'll say that. We'll say that much.
And I guess we'll see. Orlando Rats 7 seconds behind Felix. We'll see if Felix comes into the pits. He is. Felix is going to the pits. Orlando is going to have to. I don't see him not going into the pits.
Funnily enough,
Let's see where
the 2 brothers now, Kristen Stricker and Oliver Stricker. I do apologize.
There you go. And Orlando is covering him as well. Yeah.
Orlando.
But, sorry, go ahead.
They're pitting together, aren't they? The 2 brothers now, Kristen Stricker and Oliver Stricker. Very happy for them. 18 seconds out of each other, but they are in P7 and P8 individually. Just having a good time, those 2 are. Yeah, bit of brotherlyhood fun. But yeah, as I said, Rats following Rupert into the pits. Now, who's going to have the quicker pit stop? You did say there's a minimum of, what, 25 seconds?
Minimum of 25 seconds, yep.
But are they doing something, folks, that takes them longer than 25 seconds? That is the question. As we see, Michael, I think that is only exiting the pits now. Are they doing something longer to those cars that will take longer than 25? If so, how much? Because that is going to basically going to change the race of this lead. If it is like that, it's going to change the race.
There goes Felix.
There goes Felix and Rats following. Oh my word! So they were both quite literally on the 25-second mark, weren't they? As we see now behind them, Illigner in the pits, Sam in the pits, Chris Witowski in the pits, Timo Braun also in the pits. Everyone looks like they're pitting. We should see Oliver Stricker now. Oliver, you need to pit. Box. Box, Oliver, box. Is he driving past? Oh no, let's see. Does he? He has to pit. Like, I can't think he can put in another lap. No, is he going past?
He's gonna have to pit.
Oh no, there he is. No, he's in. He's in. Whew. Oliver cutting in.
You need Chomesky as well is gonna have to pit.
Funnily enough, yeah, because I mean about 26 seconds left on the stint timer. Yeah, these guys cutting it extremely close. Well done on the. I don't know if they have race engineers, but if they do, well done to those race engineers, because they did the maths perfectly, didn't they? Chris Witowski going out now. Not where he would want to be, but someone. I did hint to this. Ruben Van Hudding losing a lot of time in the pits. Now down to P6. With Sam, look at that! Your P3 position, folks, goes now to... as Timo Braun! Timo Braun! Drive-through... Oh! Timo Braun gets a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit. Oh, no. That is... And that's going to put him quite a whiles back behind quite a few people. Oh, that was... Ah, and that shows you it's something else. Sorry,
well,
my timing board...
Let's see, because that might yeah, depending on the timing board actually. No, you're right, because I saw 26 seconds between him and Chris, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, the timing board is fixing itself. Sorry, I said Sam was in P3. Ruben is still in P3, folks. The timing board there was glitched on my side. I do apologize. So that's after our pit stop round. And your top 16 goes like this. So Rupert then leading quite a bit of a gap on his fellow comrade Rats. 6.364 seconds. What a gap. Ruben van Hudding then in P3.
Oh no!
What? Oh no! Chmielewski gets to
Chmielewski.
stop and go for 30 seconds. No, guys. Oh, the speeding in the pit lane, people. Come on. Come on, people. Dominic Iligner in P4. P5 goes to Sam. P6 goes to Chris. That is what he wants. But can he get up any higher? He hopes he does. We hope he does. Come on, Chris. You've got this. Kristen Stricker then in P7. P8 goes to Timo Brom, but he, of course, got a drive-through penalty. Not good for him. He's probably going to serve that next lap. Antoine Olivet then in P9 in a beautiful Lamborghini being hunted by Bailey. Bailey won't be able to do anything just yet. P9 goes to Gareth. Sorry, no, P9 goes to P10 goes to Bailey. Sorry, I got that wrong. P10 Bailey Thompson. P11 Nico Feldman. Not where he wants to be either. P12 Oliver Stricker. P13 goes to the man who just got to stop him for 30 seconds. That is Chmielewski, Karol Chmielewski. P13 goes to that's him. P14 goes to Mouton. I'm trying to find them. And P15 goes to Betch. Where is he? There he is. And P16 goes to Michael. Oh, as he went off there. Let's get a bit of a replay on that. Goes to Michael Rojna at the bottom of the field at P16. It's going to replay. What happens here, Michael? What did you do, Michael? What did you do? I want to see this. What did Michael do, Whiskey? What do you think? Went wide? Let's have a look.
I don't know.
Let's have a look. What did Michael do? What did Michael do? Oh, he touches the grass and then proceeds to spin off into a barrier. Oh, that's a nasty hit.
Oh man.
Ooh, that's a nasty hit. Yeah, spins off into a barrier and this. Oh, and he pits. Pits as well. Timo, of course, also clearing his drive-through. But he's now in P11. That's not where he wants to be. Give me 2 seconds, folks. I'm just going to reconnect my camera software here. And we are reconnected.
Yeah, and Chmielewski still has to do his stop-go 30, and that's going to see him fall down. Actually, we'll see, because Andrew Moulton, it looks like Andrew, unless the timing is, there it is. Okay. So yeah, he actually is going to go down at least a few positions. I mean, there's not that many positions to lose in his case, but
it's still positions.
It's going to be very unfortunate for him. Yep.
Unfortunate, it is still position lost, folks, and that is racing. But yeah, 16 people now on the grid. Only 16. How many did we start with? Someone rewind the stream real quick.
I think it was 21.
21? So we've lost 5 people at Suzuka. I mean, you know, if we were racing at Monaco, I would have expected that, but we're not racing at Monaco. We're racing at Suzuka, folks. This is yeah, wow.
Yeah, we see Ranoa in the pits. Is he fixing damage?
Probably. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because that Lambo's front end was absolutely. I'm not gonna say the word.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! Was there another?
Right.
Michael, no!
Stop go 30. I'm sorry. That's just beating the dead horse.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, at that point, oh man, he's just gotta be so frustrated.
The pits for a third. Well, I think it's for a third time. Yeah, he's gonna see the pits for a third time now, folks. Well, the most people only saw the pits for one time at most. Michael should know that pit and all its crew inside out by now. We'll quiz him on that after the race. Honestly, not much going on. Bailey Thompson, maybe? Is Bailey doing something? Oh, yeah, yes, Bailey is doing something. He's very close to Mr. Antoine. I absolutely love that name. I absolutely love Antoine's name. It's a really good name, isn't it? He's French.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, it's a French name.
I believe so.
I believe so.
I'm not French.
Okay. So that's actually a good point, isn't it? You're not French, you wouldn't know. But yeah, really strong name that is, Antoine. I assume that's how you say it, Antoine Olivier. I assume that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I'll ask him
I
after the
believe
race.
so.
I'll ask him after the race.
We've had him on the stream, 2 times. So we'll hope we're getting his name right.
Imagine that. We get him on stream today. We're like, hey, how do you say her name? It's like a completely other pronunciation.
Antony.
Antony Olive. Antony Olive. No, we're gonna trust, folks. We're gonna trust. We got this right. We're gonna put all our trust in ourselves, and we're gonna hope we got this right.
Yeah, as Chomeski gets rid of his stop-go 30, we just have one more to go, Renault,
as he pits,
and we will be clean of penalties. Yeah.
Do not speed. Do not speed in these pits, Renault. Mark my words. Do not speed. You know what? We're going to go on board, folks, here with Renault to make sure he does not speed. We're going to be his judge. Now, Renault, you are not allowed to speed. You are not allowed to speed.
It seems he's got a bit of a trigger finger for the pit speed limiter when he exits the pit.
Yeah, something like that. But it looks like he didn't get anything just yet, so it looks like it's fine. Riding on board with Dominic Illinger right now. He's chasing a back marker actually. Hopefully, I assume he's hoping to dispose of that back marker really quickly, as he will, because the back marker gives him over enough space, and Dominic is through. Easiest pass of his life, I would say. But yeah, nothing. I mean, it is nighttime. Well, it's getting to nighttime, but it isn't like pitch black yet, is it, Whiskey? So drivers still comfortably racing without their headlights. You don't need headlights. Who needs headlights? Folks, of course, if you are driving in real life, please do remember to turn on those headlights. We would appreciate to keep everyone safe.
It does seem that a few of them are, actually, yeah, a good amount of them are starting to put their headlights on.
Guys, come on. Turn off your headlights. Come on, guys. Come on. Go on board with Sam here. Sam, of course. Oh, this amazing McLaren, isn't it? I mean, such a good car. I do have to say, Whiskey, I don't know about you, but the McLaren has to probably be one of my favorite cars in this sim.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it just looks like a beast.
It definitely does. It's definitely amazing. Folks, we are going to try and get a few people in for an interview. Of course, we do have Strix that's going to be taking over for us, Christian, that is. But we're going to try and get 1 or 2 people in for an interview to see if we can talk to a few of them about this race, because it has been extremely interesting, hasn't it? Anything happening on track, Mr. Whiskey?
It looks like, if my timings are not lying to me, Bailey Thompson 0.2 seconds behind Antoine Olive, sticking his nose in Antoine's rear end right now.
It's been like that about forever. I mean, Antoine's just defending, isn't he? It's been like that forever, man. At this point. Antoine, well done.
We've seen Antoine's defending skills, and yeah, he does not disappoint with that.
He never does, and I mean, honestly, the thing is that him and Bailey are equally matched on pace, so I think Antoine's working as hard to defend, honestly. I think it is still, it isn't as hard as he's had before. It's still hard, no offense to Bailey, but I think, he's not dripping in sweat right now, I'll say that much. Am I gonna get in trouble for saying that?
I don't think so.
I hope I don't. It's gonna send me.
Oh man, Bailey is just staying on him.
It's kind of the only battle.
But other than that, I think, I think other than that, most people have got decent. What's it called? Buffer times. Yeah, I was struggling to find the words there, but yeah.
Took you a second.
Cushion. That's what I was.
Folks, this is what happens. We commentate 4 races. You get us to do it late at night, and you get 2 commentators that are quite literally high on life. No, honestly though, but it's been amazing fun, hasn't it? These racers, for all 4 of these races, they've been absolutely amazing. They've really showed us what they can do, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. And, with still 44 minutes left to go, We still have a lot to see, and this is really going to show how they are consistent-wise and how their endurance race pace is.
Of course, folks, 2 hours not officially classified as 2 hours, but believe me, 2 hours not officially classified as endurance, but
Yeah.
I can tell you it is. It honestly is. These drivers, they work their ass off, but it only, at the end of the day, 2 hours, it's a long time, and you can make a lot of mistakes, unfortunately, in that time. If
Definitely.
would you be able to? Sorry, Whiskey. Would you be able to do me a favor? I do just want to go for just for a minute. If you would excuse me, and then I'll be back as soon as possible.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to leave it on autopilot here, just for now. So it's gonna redirect us to the nearest battles, and I'll share my screen just so you can get an idea of what it's showing. If you do.
Awesome.
Okay, folks, I will be. Oh no, it isn't showing, is it? It isn't. Oh, is it? Oh, it's showing. It's showing. Okay, folks, I will be right back. Yeah.
So okay. So this part of the race, they're really, everything is a lot more spread out. So, this is what I meant earlier when I said consistency is really key here at this length of a race, because even though you still have these big gaps between people, if you're consistent and you keep doing solid lap times throughout the whole race, you're going to be able to slowly get that gap closed lower and lower and lower and lower. And if you keep that up, then before you know it, you'll be right behind the position in front of you. But we're seeing a good amount of lap gaps right now between people. Dominic Ligner is 5 seconds behind Ruben. Tim Chumley 7.9, basically 8 seconds behind Dominic Ligner. But Felix Rupert just has been flying for this whole race. The first 30 minutes, he was a little held up by Orlando and was itching to get past him, but he remained patient and cautious, and he was able to wait for the perfect time. I think he probably knew in his head that at some point I will get past him, so I just have to bide my time. It's a 2-hour race, and he did. He was able to find the perfect space, and he went down the inside, turn 1, was able to get that done, and now he's 8.6 seconds ahead of Orlando Ritz, which I don't think Felix has actually finished ahead of Orlando so far. Actually, I can go ahead and check on that before I, say anything like that. Orlando Rats got P1 3 races out of, I'm sorry, 2 races technically out of the rounds, out of the 3 rounds, and he got 12th at the Nürburgring, but Felix Rupert got 24th. So yeah, definitely this is going to be the first time that Rupert is done a better job than, well, maybe not a better job, but has finished ahead of Orlando. Knock on wood, I'm not trying to curse anything, but yeah, so I think we still have a lot to go, and it's gonna be a good rest of the race. See, Antoine Olive and Bailey Thompson are still just head to head right now, and Bailey is not leaving Antoine alone. That is really the only place on the grid right now that is close. We see Nico Veldman 19 seconds behind Bailey Thompson. and Timo's actually relatively close to Nico, with 1.7 seconds, but even that is still not an incredible amount. And we also see, it looks like Marvin Betch, very close to Andrew Moulton. So there's a little bit of a fight in the back of the grid right now for P13. Apologize if my voice is sounds a little stuffy. It's a little bit of a head cold right now, but yeah, it's not too bad. 39 laps into the race. We have 38 minutes left of the race. I think we're going to probably see another 20 or so laps to go, finishing up at around 60 laps, which is a lot of laps. It's a lot of laps. It's currently 6:29 p.m. in-game time, and I think we'll probably finish under the cover of dark, which should be very very interesting, unless it's going real time. I'm not sure exactly what the timing is set for, but it's, yeah, it slowly is getting darker. It looks like we have, technically, I think it's sun out, and beautiful sky and a little bit of cloud cover, but I'm not I'm not here to be a weatherman. Yeah, Bailey Thompson still holding on tight to Antoine. That's the big fight going on right now. Everything else is just kind of, like I said, consistency, and we won't really be able to see a direct result of that until the gaps get a little closer. Orlando Rats is really dropping off behind Felix Rupert. If he keeps this up, it's possible that he could have a pit stop difference between the two of them. And I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but he's got 36 minutes left, and let's see what their bests are. So Felix Rupert's best is basically a 2-second flat, or a 2 minute flat, 2-minute 0.3. His last was a 2-minute 0.7, and Orlando's best is a 2-minute 6, which is 0.3 off, and his last was a 2:01.2. So about 4 or 5/10 of a second between each other. So it looks like Orlando is losing about half a second to Felix a lap. That's just a very rough estimate, but yeah, it's great job from Felix for keeping it up, and good defending from Orlando for 30 minutes at the beginning of this race, because we did see Felix and Orlando, they exchanged quali times during qualifying several times, but I think ultimately it was Orlando that started P1 and got the first move, well, not a move, but and got the lead solidified. And so yeah, it's just, I think, great job from Felix and Orlando both for doing just a great job. And we do have Productive Panda back from his break. He is back in charge of the stream, back in charge with commentating with me, and we have a good 35 minutes left of the race. What do you think about these last 35 minutes of the race?
I'm never in charge, but no, I do apologize, folks. I did have to go there for 2 seconds. Oh, not 2 seconds, but it was a bit longer. Just had to go do 1 or 2 things around the house. Unexpected, of course, as always. But hey, we're back now. But yeah, no. I do have to say, I had the timings up on my phone, and wow, I mean, these drivers, the race is, I mean, of course, Rupert and Rats kind of solidified their P1 and their P2, but I mean, absolute amazing job from both of them there to keep that in. And of course, not only them, I think we were looking there at the bottom of the grid. I want to check. Sorry, I just want to check who it was. because I did see a bit of a battle going on. Where was it? Was it Marvin Betch? Someone like Marvin Betch also.
Yep.
He's trying his best. Amazing race from him as well. Just really, it's the last race in this. This conditions. Just kind of pump out everything you can. Try and do whatever you can to, get those points on the board. I do want to ask. Do you want to take a quick 5-minute break, Mr. Risky?
Sure. I'm just gonna get a refill of my water, just so I have a bit of a speaking voice. And yeah, I'll be back at just, no more than probably 2 minutes.
It's absolutely fine. Take your time. I will
Awesome.
be waiting. But yeah, folks, less than 35 minutes, almost a quarter of this race left. Of course, 2 hours, 3/4 of it. It's 1.5. Quarter, okay. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, no, folks, what a race it has been. Really, these drivers have shown us their role. They've shown us what they can do, and they have definitely shown us that they're worthy of competing on a level like this. It's an absolute amazing level, and I definitely think that each one of them, have given their all in this season, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the next few seasons to see, to see what comes up and to see how the rest of the season goes. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. But let's have a look. Can we find any battles? Battles. Sam, no. Chris. I do see Chris there, still in P6. Yeah, Ruben's keeping that P3. Ruben, just keeping that gap and keeping it stable. Even if Sam is sending consistent faster laps, and Chris is sending consistent faster laps, Ruben's just able to keep that gap. Absolute amazing work from him. Bailey, nothing going off him. P8, that is a result he definitely wanted. And so in Olive, he would have liked to be in front of Bailey, but hey, life's life, and that's still a top 10 finish. Timo Braun, he had that drive-through, and is somehow still P10. Beautiful work from him. I think he can definitely be proud of that. Doing something like that, folks, I can tell you, it's definitely not easy. I'll give them that. It's not easy, and they've done absolutely amazing. But yeah, folks, if you are currently watching, I would want to ask, put your how was the season? Give us feedback in the comment section, please. We always love tell you guys, and we love listening to you guys. I'll say that. And it's always fun to have you guys by your side. And thank you guys for all the likes, for all the subscribers through this series, and for all the views. It's been absolutely amazing, I can tell you that. But yeah, so not much going on in the field right now. We are going to, I think we might stick it on back to AutoCam here, just because she will be able to take us, she'll be able to take us through all the different camera views here and just show us kind of all the angles. Betch, of course, fighting Bolton there in front of him in the Lamborghinis. Three Lamborghinis there we see. Beautiful from all of them. Oh, absolute. Oh, that's amazing. That looks absolutely amazing. Those 3 Lambos coming down there. Absolutely amazing. I might actually take a screenshot of that later on to have a look at it, because that is definitely something else. Definitely something else. But yeah, folks, what a season. Yeah, I would say what a season even. Absolutely amazing. But folks, I do apologize. I have just seen this message, and this message comes from my good commentator, Mr. Risky. Mr. Risky, I heard a rumor that you have returned to the combox.
Indeed, I have. I am back from my water break, and my thirst has been quenched. What can I say?
Quenched. I absolutely love that word. That's the word that we don't use enough in society. Quench. Like, it's a fun word to say, It's a really fun word to say. Wow. Someone, we need to bring that in. Hashtag say quenching more on. I don't know. Start a hashtag somewhere.
Yeah, 30 minutes left of the race. We are 3/4 in, and curious as to how those tires are feeling. Probably about as good as when we were an hour and 30 minutes in.
I would.
But yeah.
I would suspect it's. Yeah, I have a slight suspicion that these drivers are starting to slightly struggle for pace, because those tires have to be dead by now. They do last long, but believe me, those tires, I don't think they're made to last that long, are they, Whiskey?
Yeah, it's a close one. It's a close one. And, I don't know if you mentioned this while I was gone, but Orlando Rats and Felix Rupert, their gap is just so telling. It's so telling because the gap when they were switched was, you know, 0.5, 0.2, 0.3, just so close. And now that Felix just has a better, he's just vibing with this trick right now, I think, and he's just doing so well. And Orlando is 11 seconds behind. It's very impressive for Felix.
I know Felix he's enjoying the track. He's loving it. I think it's his kind of track. You know, I mean that of course that Lexus is a Japanese car. I think he's going to make it proud. You know, I think he's going to make the manufacturers proud. But you know, amazing race from him. Really well done, and he can definitely be very, very, very proud of himself. I want to have a look at the standings. So currently, folks, Orlando would be winning the Drivers' Championship, but something I'm not quite sure of, funnily enough, right, is the championship for the... No, but I mean, what do you think for the country championship, Whiskey? What do you think? Because we see Orlando Ratch driving the Aston, which is English, and then P3 and P4 goes to two BMWs. That's English, Japanese, English. I think that's Italian, German, British, and then Italian, German.
Yeah, and it does stop. I think it does stop at P10. So P10 is the lowest you can go with still getting points.
Ooh, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a tight ending.
Yeah, definitely. With two high Germans, but also one pretty high British. And I mean, P5 is still a good amount of points, but it's not like, you know, P2. And yeah, it's gonna definitely. It's interesting that Felix is driving for Japan because, you know, Japan's not really in contention for the top position, and so that's gonna take a lot of points away from Germany or UK.
Definitely, but I mean, you know, that's racing. These drivers don't care about their countries; they just care about one thing, and that is winning the race. Or so
Yeah.
I heard.
I mean, this is points for Japan, definitely, but Japan I don't think is gonna move anywhere. But yeah, I think that just kind of solidifies Japan's P3 in the championship.
Honestly, sorry, I honestly think that might solidify like our standings how it looks current, folks. Although I wouldn't like to say it, I think our standings might be solidified. I think our standings, well, for the drivers, it could still change quite a bit. We do see a few close gaps in there, of course. The driver's going to be hyped to see who can get in there. Ruben Van hitting P23. Looks like he has secured P3, at least P3, but that P2 that is supposed to go to Chris Witalski, ooh, I'm thinking he has enough of a gap. Do you think he has enough gap in those standings, Whiskey? Do you think Chris has enough of a gap to Ruben?
It's tough to say. I'm not 100% sure on how these point systems are going. But I do know that P1 is 50 points, and not quite sure what P2 is. But yeah, I think that it's still kind of in the air. Chris right now has 100 and Ruben has 75. I think Chris is still gonna get it.
He should. Felix Rupert and Dominic Illigner, of course, in a battle as well. 2 points between the two, but it looks like Rupert should take that. Nico Feldman and Dominic. Where's Nico? Ooh, Nico's quite... No, that should be Dominic's. Nico Feldman versus Timo Braun. 6-point battle there. Where's Nico? Where's Feldman? Ooh, there's one position separating them. Is one position 6 points worth? Could it be? Could P10 be 6 more points worth? We'll have to see. We'll have to see later, I guess. We'll have to see later. We see Sam also in a battle there with Antoine Olivet. Who would win that? I think Sam would at the moment. Yeah, Sam would at the moment. George Brabner and who's that? Lars. We don't see either of them in this race. Oliver Stricker and Ben Lewis. Oliver Stricker should be sent. I honestly think Oliver Stricker has done an amazing race, hasn't he? I mean, if he can get into that top 10, which is unlikely, but I mean, just staying in this race, he is going to solidify that finish in a top 15, which I think is going to be good. Give me 2 seconds here. Folks, my Discord has just decided to crash on me. Give me 2 seconds. Discord has done this multiple times today, and it has been extremely off-putting. I do apologize, Whiskey. I have now returned. It turned out my Discord wanted to not live anymore, but we are back now.
You're fine. But yeah, definitely. And, you know, we're slowly winding down to the end of the race. 23 minutes left. And 13.
Oh!
Felix,
Rupert's
getting a little
lost.
squirrely.
Rupert, he can't.
Yeah.
He can't start doing stuff like that. He needs to keep his
woke him up.
focus. Oh well, that was scary.
It is very easy. I mean, he's done 47 laps. They all have, but it's very easy to make silly mistakes. I did a 2.4 hours on Le Mans with an LMP1 car a few months ago, and it was hard. You really have to train for kind of longer races. You got to keep your brain alert and active, and it's easy to just go on autopilot. But also when you go on autopilot, you lose so much pace just in general. So you always have to be very aware of what's going on.
I know a mate of mine used to always say, you know you're fast when your autopilot pace is only 2 times off your normal pace. So that's, friends, I guess how you know your autopilot is good enough. But I think Rupert showed that his autopilot just isn't quite there yet. He can't press the button completely. He has to like hold it in halfway for now. But yeah, as you said, it's a pity Orlando Rats unfortunately losing that position. But I mean, I think Rupert would have gotten past eventually. He's just absolutely speeding past every single lap. Amazing race from Rupert. He's really, he's thrown his all at it, hasn't he?
Definitely.
As you see, Anton giving us a bit of a flash there. He did flash his lights at us. Hi, Anton. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I wonder if, do you think some of the racers are watching the stream in the background? Do you think so? It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think we have chatted about this before, and originally I was like, absolutely not, like, because I would never, but I do hear, I think it was you mentioned that, or someone did that, they do know some people that do watch the stream in the background just so they have a little bit more awareness of what's going on track. For me, I think it would just distract me. I mean, I need to be like 100% focused on my driving. Like, I know some people who listen to music don't know how they do that. I honestly don't. Like, I need to be listening to my engine.
You have to listen to something. YouTube videos?
No, I just listen to my engine. That's what I listen to.
What? No, I can't. I would go crazy doing that. I have to, like, that's just the thing, when I'm racing, I have to have something in my ears. Usually it's either YouTube video or music. But I mean, most of the time I'm in a Discord call with my friends, and just kind of talking. But talking about the whole stream thing, I do commentate for another league. I'm not going to mention that. Won't self-promote, I promise. But it's quite a professional league, and I've had a talk with a lot of their guys. They have upwards of 60 guys in a lobby at one time, and their guys say some of the racers actually say that it surprisingly actually helps you when you listen to the stream in the background, because it does give you a sense of how everything is going in the race, what you need to watch out for. Because if we as a commentator say, if we said 6 times in a row, let's say for example Felix almost spins at turn 6, then the drivers are going to notice that, and they're going to be like, okay, I need to watch out for turn 6. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of a, of course some racers have said, that their engineers listen to it, and then their engineers will give over the just the data that is necessary. But I mean, I think it does take getting used to. But I think to a certain extent, I think it does definitely help some of the drivers. Funnily enough.
Yeah, and I will, for important races, I'll also use crew chief. It's just so useful, and really, if you can get it configured, because sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to configure, but if you can get it configured for whatever sim you're doing, it's just there's no reason not to have it going. It's so useful.
I tend not to recommend a lot of things myself, but crew chief is definitely one. I have a mate of mine who races quite professionally on iRacing, and he said as well, crew chief it's a lifesaver. He's just given it praise, honestly.
And for the people who, I know a lot of people race for very different reasons. Some people are purely just for the competitiveness for it, and some people for the immersion too. And crew chief is great for both of that. It tells you stats and stuff, but it also makes you, it immerses you in it and the race, and it makes you feel like good, like a racer. So yeah, that's also a bonus of it.
Does make you feel quite a bit like racer. I'm going to take us back to autopilot here because he's going to do a lot better job on the comms than I am, folks. He's going to do a lot better job. Looking at Andrew Moulton here. These Lamborghinis are, funnily enough, sticking. They're the closest battle we have on track. I mean, sticking really close to each other here. Those two Lamborghinis of Moulton and Betch. They're having a fun race, enjoying themselves. Not really doing much, just kind of, hanging there, saying hi to each other constantly. Maybe trading a few positions here and there. Of course, in their mind, it will be a very hard racing. But hey, it's fun, I think when you get into, kind of the last stint of a race like this, the last stint of the end of the season, it's kind of a special thing. As we see those two Lambos, look at that, folks, pulling alongside there. It's special, isn't it, Whiskey? I mean, ending off a season, a good season nonetheless, ending off a year of racing, it's always amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And as we get into the holiday season, it's always such a great time for gaming and sim racing, gaming just in general, because you might be buying some stuff or getting gifts that have to do with your hobby, and ultimately this is a hobby, so
is it
getting that new wheel or
I wasn't fully aware. Thanks. No, what happened with Timo? Oh, come on, Timo. Come on, Timo, really? You had 16 minutes left.
For cutting.
Yeah, it probably was. Timo.
That's gonna be rough. Hopefully, yeah, I don't think he will lose a position, but he'll definitely lose a buffer room behind him. 20 seconds, sorry, of time behind him.
He's gonna lose a bit of his patience, isn't he? He's gonna lose a bit of his patience.
Yeah. But yeah. Holiday season is always good for hobbyists like us.
Mostly. Usually.
Yeah.
But folks, I mean, what a race this has been. What a season this has been. Honestly, I do have to say, Whiskey, I've had a lot of conversations about this. It's quite an interesting, what do you call it? It's quite an interesting, season, idea, isn't it? For a season
Definitely,
like this.
yeah.
It's quite interesting. It's something else. Folks, of course, 2S. There is still a lot of stuff coming. So I can tell you that. There's a lot of stuff coming, and I think you guys should definitely be looking out for that. Because once it comes, it's going to be extremely fun. It's going to be amazing.
And yeah, Timo is done with his pit, and he has a 1.2 second gap behind him of Nico Veldman. So yeah, like I said, there goes his buffer room. He's no more comfortable. But who was that just caught a little bit of Bailey Thompson? He's gone off there before too. That was what was that? That was right before the hairpin, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And
it was.
Yeah. Unsettling the car a little bit. Yeah, 51 laps in, so I think we're gonna get pretty close to 60 laps, probably I would say 57, 58. And yeah, Orlando Rat's 14.4 seconds behind. Although the past few laps, I don't think that's gotten any longer. So I feel possibly the degradation of the tires has kind of stinted the gap growth.
Oh, it definitely has.
And
at this point in the race, it usually does. I mean, the tire deg on those things, it's rough, man. A GT3 car is extremely heavy on those tires, on the brakes. So it would surprise me. I'll say that. It would surprise me if they still have a lot of life left in those tires.
Yeah.
It would genuinely surprise me. We're just going to be keeping our eye here on Bailey Thompson, actually. Or do we? Who has the most beautiful car of all?
Oh, I think we can all give that to Sam Tumley.
I just switched him as well. I think we were thinking the exact same thing. Oh, beautiful McLaren that is.
That McLaren Golf livery, yeah. Bit covered in rubber, but, beautiful nonetheless.
Oh my word. Honestly, but that's what makes it special, isn't it? Being covered in dirt like that, it makes it nice, it makes it look nice, it makes it authentic. Some of these drivers, of course, they've really grown to bond with these cars, but other of them, maybe not so much. We've heard one or two people share their opinions on their chosen cars. But I mean, hey, that's good. You get to know the sim, you get to know the cars. It's fun. It's all in all, it's fun, and that's all what it's about. If you could give me 2 seconds, Mr. Whiskey, I promise this is going to be a short one. I will be right back, folks. I do promise.
And it seems that we've haven't quite gotten into nighttime, and I don't think we will, because I did find out that this is actually running real-time speed, and so it's a minute in game is a minute in real life. So we'll probably be finishing around 7:07, which not quite dipped into darkness. We're kind of at blue hour right now, and we'll probably be staying that way for the rest of the race. So that's good for us because we can still see what we're commentating on. And yeah, but the track temp right now is 19 degrees Celsius, which is not great for keeping your tires nice and warm. And a dynamic track is, of course, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and so these drivers will be having to deal with not only worn tires, but a not grippy track. There is a good amount of rubber down, but it's a fairly cold track, so they're going to be struggling with tire temps for a little bit for the rest of this race. And this race is about 10 minutes left, and it's been about an hour and 50 minutes, and we started streaming about an hour or I would say about 2 hours and 5-10 minutes, because we had qualifying, which was also very exciting. And this track is, like we talked about at the beginning of the stream, this is a very interesting track, a lot going on there, and I mean, what more can you say? It's just a very exciting track, and even with the gaps, this racing is still relatively close for a 2-hour race. And a 2-hour race, it almost has been. Panda, what are your thoughts on how this race has gone so far?
I mean, could it have been any more exciting? Could it have been any more... I mean, Sam now somehow getting on top of Iligner. Did I miss something, or has that just started to happen?
Yeah, it's just... I think Sam is very consistent, and Dominic might be making some mistakes here and there. We did see him dip a little bit into the dirt every once in a while, and he might be feeling a bit of the pressure from behind now. But Sam's doing a really good job. He's done a good job this whole race. Unfortunately, he was taken out the first turn, but yeah, there's not much you can do about that.
He's done amazing to claw it back. He's done amazing. He's tried his best, and that's all we could ask for. Sam's really showed us, what he's made of, and it's shown. It has really, really, really shown. And I'm happy. I'm happy for him. To fight his way back up. It's something special, and I think he's definitely going to appreciate it. Bit of an update. Chris Witowski went a second faster than Dominic in that last lap, and so did Samuel. So we might even see Chris, hopefully, if he can, theoretically, if he can catch a second lap, he should be able to make the move on Mr. Illinger, on Mr. Dominic. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. Maybe Dominic even starts to go a bit slower because of that McLaren behind him. We'll see. Anything could happen. Anything could happen, people. This is GT3 racing. For a second there, I saw the what do you call it? The merry-go-round? No, you don't call it merry-go-round. What's
the Ferris wheel.
Yes, I saw the Ferris wheel, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing.
I was having a conversation with my dad actually a few months ago. We were doing some racing, and I was like, he was asking me, like, so what kind of tracks host endurance races? And I said, well, if a track has a Ferris wheel, it's going to do endurance races.
Oh, it does.
If you look at Le Mans, you look at Nürburgring, you look at Suzuka, all of these places have Ferris wheels. I don't know why it's such a staple, but yeah.
We need to build one at Spa. We need to build one at Spa. Yeah, we
definitely.
Need to build one at Spa, urgently. Someone get on that. Someone, I don't know, call the Belgian Prime Minister and tell him, listen, we need a Ferris wheel. Don't ask me why. We just need one. Just give us the budget, we'll construct it.
I mean, I think it's because they are just so, pretty at night. They can be really lit up. And yeah, Nürburgring has a Ferris wheel, and I think they have a roller coaster right by the track as well.
I mean, imagine
if
that.
I'm not mistaken.
Some driver. Yeah, okay, you know what I could see? One driver finishing off his endurance stint, and then decides to go on the Ferris wheel to cool down.
Yeah.
Quite a cool down, isn't it?
Oh, as we see Sam, Sam is right on the back of Dominic.
Oh, he's gonna go for a
looking
move.
Down the outside.
He's going.
They are side by side now.
He's 100% going for it. Oh. Into
here,
maybe?
Yeah.
Dominic goes wide. Dominic goes wide. Can Sam do it? Sam gets the
I think Dominic has the advantage here going to this turn, though.
Oh,
they're still side by side. A little bit of contact.
Sam sends it, and is it? Oh, that's too close, guys. And Sam makes it pay off and gets in front. But that BMW does have some straight line speed. Does he have enough, though? Sticking in that slipstream.
Yeah, Sam trying to cut the trying to cut off the okay.
Slipstream. Oh, Dominic.
Oh, he goes wide too.
Yeah, Dominic going wide. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Sorry, you said about the stream? No, it should be fine.
No, I didn't. The slipstream.
Oh, slipstream.
The slipstream.
I thought you said stream. I was like, oh crap, what happened? Slipstream.
Oh, Sam up to P4 now. This is a big hit to Germany, because Sam obviously is in a British McLaren, and Dominic Illigner is in a German BMW. So 5 minutes left of the race, if Sam can keep this position, this is a huge advantage to Great Britain.
I think he might. I mean, he looks like he is faster than the BMW behind him. Looks like he's quite a bit faster. And this move has been brewing. It has been brewing quite a bit, hasn't it? And
definitely.
It looks like now it's happened. It's happened. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and Felix Rupert has 17 seconds between Felix and Orlando. I guess when I was said before that, maybe the gap difference is starting to even out, I guess I was wrong, because Felix almost has a whole pit stop behind him. Felix is doing a great job at pulling away from Orlando.
I don't know how Felix is that fast, but I think it's illegal. I think it might be illegal at this point, because wow, what a... Yeah, it's absolutely amazing from him, isn't it? That's incredible from him. To pull that time...
It's such... Orlando has done such a great job all season. And Felix has too, so I feel like this is just... it's a good for Felix to also get the taste of glory, because Orlando has, for two of the rounds gone P1, and you know the first round was a split between 2 sprint races, and he got P1 for both of those. So, I feel good for Felix for getting this this win.
I mean, honestly, Orlando can't feel so bad because as of now, he's still winning the championship. Just the next 4 minutes, something really has to go wrong for him to lose his championship. And I have a feeling how he's driving, yeah, it might not go wrong. But I do want to have a look real quick. So the lap times 2 minutes. So if I'm working this out, Mr. Rupert is gonna cross the line any second here, so he'll be able to fit in another 2 laps. So we have to. So it's lap 57 now, sorry. So when he starts lap 58, folks, we're going to get on board with Mr. Rupert, and we're going to do the final lap with, well, if he's still ahead, you know, touch wood, anything can still happen. But we'll hop on board with him and have a look at how and what he's doing, hopefully.
Yeah, and Antoine Olive, it looks Antoine Olive and Ollie Stricker and Nico Veldman. Both of them are, and you know, we talked about this before, how everything was going to spread out, but then at the end, you know, some of them are going to come together, and we do have a good amount of fighting. Ollie Stricker tried to make a move, and Nico went wide. Nico and Ollie Stricker are fighting.
I'm trying to find this. Sorry. Oh, they're still fighting as well. Okay, but look.
Yes, they are.
Okay, you know what? Let's get a replan. Do you go for
I think we should probably
let's stick on board with that. Okay, but can you explain to us what happened at least while we wait for?
So yeah, Ollie was gonna go for a dive down at the end.
Well, he's going for a dive now. Sorry, he's going for. Oh no, Oliver misses a breaking point. I do apologize so much, Risky.
No, you're fine.
Oliver. Oh, he missed his breaking point, went wide, and that's. Oh, the Aston had such a great chance there. Can he?
I think there's probably going to be maybe 1 or 2 other opportunities for him at this point.
Not ideal for him.
But yeah, it was a big exchange right at the end of the back straight. Oh, he's going for one right now.
Can he make it work?
I don't think he's going to make it stick.
Oh, but he's putting his nose in. He's keeping his nose in.
Let's see how this ends up.
Goes wide, touches the grass. Okay, but we have something to fulfill. Going on board, Felix Rupert. Take us through the last lap here. Come on. Mr. Risky, last lap. Take us through.
He's looking pretty excited. Yep, final lap. He comes in blazing fast, downshifts to 4th and 3rd, and right at the last second, he's going to downshift to 2nd, letting it just cruise on in, and engine braking is vital there as well. Here, looks like you really want to kind of keep it more into 3rd gear through the S's. Can't really do too much or too less with that because you're going up and down the revs. 2nd gear is pretty safe for this section just because it's a little bit tighter than you expect. Then you're going to start climbing up the gears going into this straight that isn't straight. And then you want to be ballsy, you're going to do this in 4th. Oh, looks like he plays it. Oh! Tries to play it safe, but he almost oversteered. I'm sure his heart jumped into his gut right there. Downshift down to 1st for the hairpin. Just roll it along through like he's doing. Put some power down. And so, yeah, this is the other straight that isn't a straight. And he comes on to the spoon, which is a little tricky. It's got one of those multi-apex ones that we were talking about. You always want to touch inside, outside, then inside here. And that's exactly what he's done. It's more inside, outside, inside, outside. It's a very interesting corner, especially if you look at it top down. And then you have the back straight. This is where we saw the little tussle between Ollie Stricker and Nico Veldman here. And then you have this heavy braking zone, probably the heaviest of the track. You have the final little chicane. You have this right turn coming on to the start-finish straight. And we have Felix Rupert coming down the start-finish line to take the victory of the last round of the Nations Cup.
But
see a little bit of celebration.
he is very excited, but Felix may take the win. But the man that takes the Drivers' Championship today, folks, in Suzuka after round 4 is this man, Orlando Rats. He crosses the line and he wins the Driver Championship for the 4S Nations Cup. Whiskey, brilliant commentating there on the last lap. What a win that was. I mean, come on, they're from what we saw there from Felix. Amazing drive, wasn't it? Absolutely amazing.
Definitely. And Ruben being able to hold on P3 as well.
Oh, look at Antoine. He's crossed the line as well. He's enjoyed himself. He has liked this race a lot. It's been his race. Timo Braun, the man who's faced way too many penalties and way too many problems, folks. He gets around the last corner, keeping that BMW in track limits, hopefully. And he is going to cross the line to finish up in the points, P10. Well done to Timo. Well done to all our racers here. We're going to go on board with number 25. It's 24, 25. Oh, look at that! They're still battling! They're still battling! They're, Nico and Oliver. Oliver who has fast race speed. I think Nico does. Is Nico going to... No, Oliver goes! Oliver pulling in front! Does Oliver... Yes! Oliver finishes ahead of Nico though. Oh, what a battle to the line that was, folks. What a battle to the line that was. Oh my word. So then, Rupert, fastest lap and win. Rat in second. Van Houding third. Oh my word. Fourth goes to Sam. Fifth to Illigner. Sixth, Witowski. 7, Christian. 8, Thompson. 9, Olivier. And number 10 is Mr. No, number 10 was... Who was number 10?
Ollie Stricker.
No, I know, but it was Timo. It was Timo. Because most of them left.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know for a fact. I think Timo finished in the points last. Oh, folks.
Christian Stricker still hasn't technically finished the race. He is crawling to the end, being a little bit of a troll right now. I definitely want to see if we can talk to...
Look at that. He's taking...
he's taking his time.
He's really taking his time. You know what? We'll go on board. Epic onboard camera with Christian Stricker. Epic onboard camera.
Oh,
is he going to go into second gear? Is he going to go into second gear, folks? Is he going to
lap of the race?
No, he didn't. Oh. He didn't even make it to the lap.
Oh my goodness. And I do want to see if we can talk to Sam Chumley, because what an incredible what a great job he did. Great job.
Definitely. We just have to check, because I know our friend Christian does want to come do the giveaway, but if we can have you at them for the interviews, we should maybe try and get some of them in for the interviews here, if we can. See if we can. But yeah, what a race, folks. I mean, it took quite a while, but what a race. Those drivers fought their hearts out and they finished the season on a high, and what a high that is. Wow. We'll give it a second here. The drivers, as you can imagine, folks, they're absolutely dead. So we're gonna try and get one or two of them in, but they are extremely tired. It's definitely worn on them. We're gonna have a look. Can we get who? Sovic? I recognize that name. I need to have a look here. But yeah, folks, Whiskey. I mean, what review on that season? One word review on that season?
Oh man, it just eventful. I mean, so much happened. I think it was interesting. It was the formatting was interesting, because you started with 2 very short races, and then they just got longer and longer throughout the season. It was I just thought it was
Unfortunately
these
for
racers.
us, of course. Unfortunately for us commentators.
It was fun though. It never, we were. I don't think I was ever like, wow, this is boring. I think it was definitely very, very good. I thought it was good. Yeah.
It definitely was. Are we gonna get it?
How did you?
Are we gonna?
We're gonna see.
We might have to drag up Antoine. Honestly, I would love to talk to him as well. I mean, he had a good race himself. Antoine, come talk to us. Come here, Antoine. Come here. Oh,
Or if we
no.
want to, we could also ask Chris Strix if he's going to. If we could do the
Yeah, we are supposed
do
to do the
the
giveaway,
raffle.
aren't we? We are supposed to
Yeah.
do the giveaway. We currently have 4 people watching. Thank you guys so much. We will be doing the raffle here in just a second, guys. I do promise. We're just waiting for everyone to get in. First of all, waiting for Christian. I'll give him a second. Oh, there it is. Here, Felix Rupert and Orlando Rats. I'm gonna drag them up. Whiskey, take us through Felix. You can interview Felix first, and then I'll do Orlando Rats
Sure.
right after.
Hello, guys! Congratulations.
Hello.
Thanks. Hey.
So first, if we want to talk to Felix first. So started P2, if I'm not mistaken, after qualifying, and it was a P2 for you for the first around half hour, I think. Is that
Yeah,
right?
more or less. Yeah.
Yeah. So you two have been at the head to head basically the entire Nations Cup series, and so it was really cool to see you guys fighting it out today as well. And as soon as we did see you get past him right before the turn 1, and then at that point you started just basically pulling away. So what do you think? It was a little bit of do you think that clean air just really kind of helped out? Was the pace difference a lot? What do you think was going on there?
Yeah, I think the first half hour I was managing my tires a little bit behind Orlando, and he did as well. So I didn't think that my pace was much better than his. But yeah, as soon as I got past, my tire pressures were more in the white window. So I felt like my pace got better because of that. And yeah, well, I was pushing a little bit more to pull a gap to Orlando, because I knew that I wanted to get a 3 seconds gap so that I was safe for the pit stops, and I could celebrate my first victory. That was the goal, and it was I was surprised that it worked out that well. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, that was awesome, and that we followed you that final lap, and you going out of the S's after that big long left-hander. You went a little squirrely, I think, and we kind of held our breath there for a bit, but you were able to lock it back down. You did
Final
have
lap,
about
you say?
Sorry?
In the final lap, you say?
No, I think
Can't
it was-
remember
Yes.
even.
Was it?
Oh, really?
No, I think it was the first to final lap, wasn't it? That he got too squirrely.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was the final lap. I think it was one of the previous. But I mean, close to the end, you scared us all, gave us a
Yeah.
heart attack, and I almost
Yeah, I was
died.
looking at the
So
timetables
thanks.
because I think one of the guys in front of me overtook another, and I looked at that, and then I just went straight. That was kind of stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, but very impressive with that gap at the end. 2-hour race, there's a lot of time to do stuff. So, yeah, good job. And if Panda, if you wanted to interview,
I will.
if you have any questions for Felix, or move on to Orlando.
Honestly, I think the biggest question is Felix. What's the celebration for your first win? Is there some sort of tradition we don't know about? Or are you just gonna go sleep now for the next 11 hours?
No, I don't really think there's a much celebration going on. It was just, it was a fun event, and I'm happy that I won, but nothing
It's
really
done.
to celebrate about. Unless I win the coaching, and maybe I will celebrate.
But the man who does have the bragging rights to celebrate. Now listen, I've done my math. And as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Orlando Rats, you might not have won this race, but damn, you did win that championship. How are you feeling? How is the heart still working?
It feels very, very great, and I didn't thought that I could win this championship. It feels pretty good.
very humble, very humble. Yeah, it feels pretty good. No, but seriously, I mean, of course, last race didn't go as how can we say this? I want to say it went as planned for you, if that makes sense. Of course, sorry, no, not last race. I'm talking about Germany. Sorry, the Nürburgring. P12, not ideal. But I mean, all the other podiums you've been on, you've been P1, except for Suzuka, or you've been P2. Is it consistency? Is it speed? What's kind of the secret behind being as fast as you are?
I think he's an alien.
Out of this world.
I think it's about the consistency and the raw pace in the end. So if the others haven't that much stop and goes or drive-throughs, or basically do not that much mistakes, they would be way more faster.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I do want to ask. It's a bit of a lower note, I guess. But you talk about consistency and the raw pace. But I mean, unfortunately, as you saw, Rupert getting past you and then putting a 17-second gap. Out of your view, what was that? Did you not have the pace? Were you scared for your tires? Were you scared for fuel? Could you have gotten up to him if you wanted to? Were you trying your best? What was the situation with him being? I don't want to say gapping you, but to a certain extent pulling that gap on you. What was kind of the situation there?
So in my view, it was about the pace. So I was like 3-4 tenths slower in one lap than Felix, and yeah, I've done, I don't know, 2 seconds or something like that. I've missed because I've done 2 mistakes or so, and yeah, I think it was about the pace in the end. Not really the graining or the tire wear. I think it was only the raw pace.
I mean,
Suzuka isn't really my best track, so yeah.
I mean, to be quite fair, you've driven amazing all season. I think we can let you go with a P2 at the end of the season. No, but seriously, Orlando, winning a 4-round championship by the margin that you did, well done. Of course, unfortunately, Chris Witowski did have that accident at the start, and he couldn't get back up to you guys. But seriously, Orlando, from my side, Orlando and Felix, both of you, extremely well raced guys. This whole season we've been keeping our eyes on you guys. You guys definitely have a lot more potential. Maybe you guys can go into pro esports sometime, the GT World Esports. I hope we see you guys there, because you guys definitely have something that makes you special. Whiskey.
I think you basically covered it. I mean, since this is the last race, just looking back at the last 4, or if you count the sprints, 5 races, you guys have been kind of in a league of your own, and I think it's really telling that you guys are just, the raw pace you guys have is just impressive. I'm just kind of impressed, is what I'll just say overall.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done, boys. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And you two will now probably hope that you win our raffle, won't you? I mean, to be quite fair, you guys don't need coaching. You guys can just throw that in the trash, just burn it.
No,
I mean,
I will give it away to another one if I win it.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Okay. Now you're just being wholesome. There's no place for being wholesome in here. There's no place for it. Stop. No, but seriously, guys, extremely well done. Go talk to the other guys. Have fun. I don't know. Drink a beer. Whatever you do. Drink water. Whatever you do. Go enjoy it. You guys have deserved it. Well done.
Yeah,
guys.
we
Yeah,
do.
thank you very much. Good evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
And now I would like
Bye.
to. Bye. So we have our dear friend who has set all this up and
Hello.
has, for some reason, hired us, Mr. Christian Stricker.
Yeah, hello.
Now, before we do the giveaway, I want to ask, out of your perspective as a 2S manager, was this season successful? Was this 4-round season successful?
Yeah, I mean, we had pretty fun races, and was just testing out different stuff with the BOP and custom liveries, and it seemed to work really well. So I'm very happy for that. And yeah, I think the different formats we tried as well were very interesting. We thought just some fun entertainment for the last 4 weeks, where we had sort of a dry period between season 7 and season 8, which is coming out soon in January. So we just thought, yeah, let's do something fun, giveaway as we generally do each year around Christmas time, and this time it was a whole championship, and I'm really happy to see the positive feedback that's been received by the community, and also, yeah, it's been nice to see some old, familiar, friendly faces back on the grid, such as Felix Rupert and the other drivers, and also new ones as well. Orlando Reitz, we've never seen him before, but also Nick Kononov back on the grid, people like that. So
Can you just?
yeah, it's been very enjoyable.
So you're telling me Orlando is new, and the first season is with you guys. He just absolutely
Well,
dominates.
Yeah, I mean,
that's wow.
well, to be fair, he is Felix Rupert's teammate in Rijn-Welten Racing, and that team you mentioned earlier, you hope to see them in esports, pro esports. They've already entered in that stuff, and they already have had success in there. So it doesn't surprise me that he is absolutely rapid pace. They also have another driver, Lars Kirschbaum, but I think he's more part of the academy. And sadly wasn't able to join us today. But it's been a great season. I think it's been nice having Felix back on grid. That's for damn sure.
Definitely
Missed him a
has.
little bit, but anyways, I think it's time for a giveaway now. So I'm going to push over to my side.
Yeah. So
To
just
see if that's gonna work.
yeah. So we're gonna hope this works, folks. If it does go down for some odd reason, just stick around. It'll be back in. It'll be up in like a millisecond. We're gonna try and do it the economical way. Christian, tell me when you've pushed me alongside.
I'm just gonna quickly. I need to make sure I have the right stream key because I've been doing RCI broadcasting the other day. So
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
let me just quickly. There you go. Okay. So I'm gonna start pushing now, and just wait until the stream connects. It should be quite easy to see when it does connect.
I just want to say, custom liveries. Yeah, no, not again.
No?
We're not doing
Not
custom
again?
liveries.
Okay.
No, I'm out. I'm done with custom liveries, man. I'm done with custom liveries. No, for
This
those
is not confirmed.
for those who don't know, first race there was one custom livery, one that gave me an absolute pain, and I figured it out. But yeah, custom livery.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
else
I
can stream
remember.
next time. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I remember. It was questionable to say the least.
Questionable.
But oh well.
Have you started?
But
pushing?
it's been fine since. Yeah, I've started pushing. It takes some time. Give us some time. So everyone who's waiting, feel free to say something in chat. I don't know, like pick me or something, or I hope you win or whatever. Just to get a little bit of engagement from the community. Everyone's watching along, looking at the giveaway results. I have a massive wheel of names. All, of course, it's been every race you've entered is one raffle ticket. So I've managed to get 76 entries. I've deleted my own because I feel like it'll be a bit fishy if I won. And I've also deleted the ones of Sam Chumley and Nico Veldman as they decided they did not want to be part of it. Because they've also helped set up this series.
Can I just?
Timo says hello with a weird face. I assume he's sort of angry after his race today.
I think he is. I mean, Timo had a decent race, but not what he wanted with all those penalties. I do want to just point out. Sorry, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. In Nations Cup chat, there is someone celebrating that they won on countback. Absolutely love the FIA already doing the countbacks. Well done, guys. No, but honestly, I think to end off a season, I think Whiskey can agree with me here, Christian. What an amazing ender. It was amazing, and we absolutely loved that personally, of course.
Yeah, of course. So, what we're gonna try to do now with the live stream, I think you should try and stop pushing.
Okay, folks. Stick around.
Stay
Please.
tuned.
Yeah, folks, stick around. I promise. Just keep your browser here. Refresh it if you need to. We will see you in hopefully 5 seconds. Oh no, here we go. Bye.
Yeah, it
And
should be
it's up.
fine.
Yeah, you should start pushing now.
Push! I've been pushing for the past minute. I
you-
assume that they can hear this. Just saying.
Everyone.
We're getting a good amount of comments on.
Yeah,
I
we're
did
just-
see that
Live chat is
whoever
busting.
score
Man.
is.
and live chat going ham over here.
Oh,
Here we
we're
go,
on.
and we are on my camera. So people will sound a little bit different now. My mic will sound different, but it's okay. I'm just gonna quickly test it. So excuse me for the past minute. Yeah, okay, sounds good. All right, so this is what you've all been waiting for. I'm gonna wait for a little bit more people to join. There's 15 watching now. There's been a few more
Entries.
entry.
Got a few more.
It's been As with those 36 drivers, so you used at least minimum 33 drivers because of obviously I took out some drivers. But anyways, so am I just supposed to do this? Or am I supposed to give up a little bit of excitement? I think I'm gonna quickly do some excitement real quick.
Yeah, I think we should we do a countdown possibly?
I'm gonna try and find like a heartbeat sound effect for suspense. All right, you know, and let's okay, wait. Let's hope this one works.
Can you share your screen, please?
No.
On Discord.
It started. All right.
Oh, damn. Damn, I wanted to see it live, man. I'm gonna have to wait. As well.
Oh, it's intense. Oh, it's intense. Who is it gonna be? Who is it gonna be?
Preview.
Okay, this is being weird now. All right. 3, 2,
Get on.
1, click.
You have to tell us who it.
Oh, is it gonna be? Is it gonna be? It's gonna be. Oh, and Antoine Olive, I believe, is the winner of the giveaway. Congratulations, Antoine Olive. That was so close to being last Kirschbaum at the very end.
Oh, Antoine, well done.
Congratulations. You are the winner of the giveaway, and I think today proved that he deserves it because he had a terrible race. I'm sorry, honestly.
He did.
No, I'm kidding. I believe he will actually use that to put that into very good use. So
You think
there
we
you
can
go.
drag Antoine up? Can we drag him?
Yeah, sure. Let's drag him in. Let's drag him in.
Down? Drag him. Okay, Antoine. Mr. Antoine!
Congratulations, Antoine. You are the winner of the giveaway. Is he
alive?
here?
Yes, I am. But I'm watching the stream at the same moment, so it's
It's weird. Audio's all
It's time to
bugged.
mute the stream.
it was very confusing.
So yeah, how do you feel?
that compensates for a pretty boring and not very good race.
I mean,
So
to be quite
great
fair, you were the king of defending all season, and this will just allow you to become the king of everything all next
Hopefully.
season. So I mean,
Yeah, I believe this will be good for you. Definitely, that's for sure. I mean, you are already a very quick driver. That's we've seen that before. You've had a few podiums in 2S and even a few race wins as well back in the days. But I think you need to improve your racecraft, especially around me and Ollie. Today there was no issue, but there has been quite a lot in the past. So I'm hoping this driver coaching will help.
I mean,
you
there
out.
was no issue with Ollie and you, but Nico got.
Yeah, Nico, sorry, he got the short end of the stick today. He probably feels this is undeserved, but oh well.
Nico's gonna be mad, man. Nico's going to be mad. No, but seriously, Antoine, well done. Well done.
Congratulations indeed.
And thanks to us for hosting the giveaway. This is a very cool thing.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's been, I mean, you've been part of helping with the organization as well as you as part of the staff team, so you've had a few tips and tricks on what to do here and there, so it's not like you have to congratulate yourself a little bit as well on how successful it's been. So anyways, do you have a final speech to say for everyone? All the kids out there who dream the impossible or something?
No.
All right.
No, just
I have a speech.
I'm happy to race with you guys. It's always fun, and hopefully it stays that way for a long time.
Yeah, hopefully it does. And I believe this is the time to close out the stream. So thank you everyone who's been along on the journey of this fun series, or from round 1 all the way to round 4. Even though we had issues in round 1 of the stream, it's been flawless ever since. I want to thank Panda and John personally, as they've been great to listen to while watching back the races, and happy to have you guys on board. You've done a great job as well. And then also thank you to all the drivers who've been involved. This has been a really fun season, for a little bit less serious than usual, but it's been really nice. So I'm gonna close it out there, and thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys again in the new year when we start up our season 8 of ACC and our F1 tiers. So thank you
Bye
everyone,
bye.
and goodbye.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.